Players booting up, excited to see what Todd and crew brought from PC. Dual sense buzzing in hand, this ship's about to land. Game loads in, what a surprise. Can't believe I believed those lies. The game runs great, I'm losing myself. Todd blessed it like a Holy Ghost, but then it crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter all hopes and dreams without delay. Breaking hearts, but he'll still run away with your money, your hopes, your dreams, and then Starfield will just go and crash again. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter. It was said that Luke was too mean, that Todd's tales would soon be seen to be true and honest and clean and pure. But it turns out the port's just a pile of manure. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter all hopes and dreams without delay. Breaking hearts, but he'll still run away with your money, your hopes, your dreams, and then Starfield will just go and crash again. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter. Oh Todd, what the actual hell is wrong? Oh Emil, someone do something. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter all hopes and dreams without delay. Breaking hearts, but he'll still run away with your money, your hopes, your dreams, and then Starfield will just go and crash again. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter. It crashed, Starfield crash. PS5 or Pro, it don't matter. Todd's work will surely shatter.
And now, to level it out, we will sing the hymn celebrating Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation, who, of course, is really, really good at his job and not at all also horrible.
Herman, oh, Herman, you're a goddamn fool, Herman. Claymation looking ass, firing top brass, bottom of your class, oh Herman. Stupid Herman. No clue what you're doing, oh Herman. Somehow you have a job, working like a slob. No one likes you, Herman, you suck. Herman loves Horizon, even though it's mid. Now he runs PlayStation like a mark of skid. Herman. Stupid Herman. No clue what you're doing, oh Herman. Somehow you have a job, working like a slob. No one likes you, Herman, you suck. Herman smells like fish, probably eats children. I kinda think he's a lizard. A literal rock would be better. Herman. Stupid Herman. No clue what you're doing, oh Herman. Somehow you have a job, working like a slob. No one likes you, Herman, you suck. Herman, you suck. Herman, you suck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Hopefully good. Because we do have some things to talk about and discuss, as is tradition. Indeed. AI slop? No, you're telling me that wasn't substantive, beautiful art? The song about Herman Holst probably eating children and being a secret lizard? No, I thought that was the finest music made by the finest symphonies. Oh, geez. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Everybody feeling good? Feeling good? I found something out. I've made it. I've made it officially. Officially, we've made it, fam. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're here, and this is a big moment for me. Ronan tagged me in this on X, and I have to share it with you. Apparently, on TikTok, I'm being referred to as a gaming analyst. And I've also made it because people are now clipping parts of the stream, and I don't even have to pay them to do it. The mold is spreading, my friends. The mold is spreading. This apparently is a clip of me when we were talking about GTA. What part was it? I would not be surprised if on launch day, it's like an actual ghost town. It's like real. The dramatic music really sells it. Quiet. Nobody's out driving. The schools are empty. Like, no joke. No joke. Like, they announced cover art, and this did 72 million views, 569,000 likes in a day. That's insane. Okay, that's insane. It's hard to quantify just how insane that is. I would not be surprised if there's like an actual blow to the electrical grid on this day. Like, no joke, no joke. It's going to be crazy. I will have my battery backups installed and ready to go. It's hard to describe for people who are not in the gaming sphere just how insanely huge this will be. Gaming analyst believes the launch of GTA 6 will have a huge impact on the world. Wow. Wow, we've made it. We did it. So there you go. There you go. I was like, no way. And sure enough, like, it's real. Who knew? Who knew? Thank you, Ronan, for sharing that with me over on the Twitter sphere. I appreciate you. So yeah, I've made it. I've made it. It's only downhill from here, fam. It's only downhill from here. Olive Trees, thank you for the very generous 5. I can't read. Very generous 5. Thank you. Hey Luke, just want to say I beat KCD 2 and it doesn't feel like the end. I wish I could invite Hans to the Forge to have an ale, though. Yeah, ... have an ale. I get what you mean. It's like end of a chapter, but it doesn't feel like the end of a book. But Satobi also said in interviews that the last DLC for KCD 2, they wanted to close the book on Henry's story. I think it's translated, of course, so maybe it's clunky, but it basically was him saying, we want to finish his story, which to me, I think indicates that it's probably, they're wrapped up. They're wrapped up, That's what I think. But they're doing another game. Who knows what they're gonna do with it? I'm optimistic that the really telling thing was that they did not say that the next game was another. Where is it? Probably Warhorse official Twitter posted it. Yeah, what they said was a new Kingdom Come adventure. They do not say Kingdom Come Deliverance adventure or Kingdom Come Deliverance game. They say Kingdom Come adventure. Big brain. I think that's because it's probably like a I don't know if spinoff is the right term for it, but I think it's probably not with Henry. I think it probably explores another character. In terms of scope, I don't know if it's going to be as big or bigger or smaller than KCD 2, but they're pumping it out pretty quick, so who knows. But overall, I'm very excited for it. Very excited for it. So we'll see. Kingdom Come female protagonist. Well, I mean, you never know. There's all sorts of stuff that they could do. There's been rumors for a long time that they could explore sort of a prequel setting. The most obvious one, of course, is the kind of the thing that is looming over all of KCD as as a franchise, which are the Hussite Wars. These take place like 15 years after KCD2, because I think KCD2 is in like 1404, 1405, something like that. And so the Hussite Wars are like the most obvious thing. The difficulty, frankly, with the Hussite Wars is I think the only way to do it is by setting the game in Prague. And Prague, not that easy to build. I mean, it's a big place. So I don't know how it'll work, but that's kind of the most obvious place to go. Who knows? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm excited though. Either way, they've demonstrated that they know what they're doing. So I will eagerly await it whenever it comes. Okay. Speaking of coming, we are starting our big push for members only content. Buckle up, buckaroo. Just want to let you guys know about this. If you are a member, this also, to be clear, I'll just get out of the way. People over on Twitch, you get access to the Discord server. So this stuff broadly applies to you as well, but for sake of not having to say three things at the same time, I'm just going to say members only. Okay. Hopefully we're all on the same page, but we're going to start trying to specifically give back more intentionally and directly to members for supporting the channel and for helping keep the lights on and pay for our 3 wonderful editors to pump out content. One of the ways that we're going to be doing that is not just, the members only Discord and stuff, but also members only exclusive content that is additive and that builds out our portfolio of stuff that wouldn't normally make it onto the channels, but that could be fun or different. For example, the one that Trevor just launched 12 minutes ago is the wildest review ever. This is a series we're going to start doing called Behind the Review. Basically, after I review a game, I can share some of the behind the scenes stuff of what went on, how it happened, some of the stuff that doesn't end up public normally, but that I can share with you. And then in this particular one, I share the behind the scenes story. That's the face. Explaining the craziness of probably the most wild review I ever did, and a story of a studio that basically shot themselves in the foot like 5 times in a row. Really, honestly impressive. But I talk about it in this one. We also will have a video going up very, very soon. That let me see if I can pull up the picture. This isn't like the final thumbnail, but it gets the idea across. Here we go. I found a horror game that is set in ancient Egypt. So naturally I had to try it because I love ancient Egypt. And so members will get an exclusive I tried video. The idea is basically it's videos and content that you wouldn't normally be able to put on the main channel or the live channel because it just doesn't quite fit, but it's something that we can do that's more experimental to give back to members and say thank you for helping keep the lights on. Of course, you could also get access to it if you get gifted a membership as well. So it's not locked that way, but just to give you a heads up, that stuff is going to start rolling out. We have these videos. I also want to do members only streams. I want to be able to do members only like community events and nights. Like if we want to play Mecha Chameleon, we do a community night where we all hop on a server and we play together. Stuff like that. That would just be fun. And I've put Trevor in charge of it. And he's going to be like the czar of members only content. And he's in charge of basically building out that library of stuff, keeping me accountable so that we're pumping stuff out regularly on Member Mondays. So you guys will benefit from that. Just a heads up, letting you know. I might mention it again throughout the stream because I want you guys to be able to check out those videos when you see it. If you are a member, you can just go to the channel membership tab, and then you can see the full portfolio. You can see we did some stuff like even a year ago, my favorite holiday games and stuff like this. We vibing. We did some stuff back in the day, but we are kickstarting it in full force moving forward. So just be aware of that. Okay. Let me catch up on these real quick. Was it good? It was actually pretty good, honestly. As far as like indie horror games are concerned, they actually did a pretty good job with it. Like it's not Resident Evil, but it was honestly like, I was like, okay. I was smirking the whole time. The whole time I was like, it was good. It was a good time. Real quick, over Vine Archiver, maybe? Thank you. Hey, Luke, watch Rockstar fit an entire city into PS2 memory. Absolutely fascinating video. That rings a bell. Did we already watch this one time, or did I just watch it myself? I think I might have just watched it myself. Because, yes, I think I've seen this video, and it is mind-boggling. That's a very, very good recommendation. That's a very good recommendation. Hold on, let me what was it called? How Rockstar fit an entire city into, not Fortnite. Oh, YouTube suggestions. Like, you want to watch Fortnite, right? Like, no, like, but you do. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you for the suggestion, my friend. That's a very good one. That's a very, very good one. Kyle, thank you for the 8 months. People say comparing AAA to indie efficiency is apples to oranges. I say more like half an apple to an orange, but I paid less for the orange. Well, so I actually, I don't know exactly what form this will take, but I actually did do some like diving into some of the nuances of business theory that apply to like AAA versus indie development. And it is very, very interesting. Basically, there's two individual instances of this, but for example, you look at a massive studio. I personally, I think of like Ubisoft a lot with this, or I think of like Bungie, or those games where like, or those studios where they have 400 people working on a game and they spend a year or 2 years or 3 years making something, and you're like, what have you been doing this whole time? That kind of vibe. Well, there are some actual like economics professors and like business thought leaders and stuff that have done analysis on these phenomena for decades. Okay, this is not like a new thing in the gaming sphere. One of them, for example, is fascinating. Parkinson's law. This is fascinating, but basically, as the quick summation goes, Parkinson's law is a famous principle stating that, quote, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion, coined by British naval historian and author C. Northcote Parkinson. It originally appeared as a satirical essay in The Economist in 1955 and was later published as a book in 1957. Basically, the idea just being that whenever you have enough time, like the workload will kind of fill out to effectively fill out the space, which is something that we've like literally seen with plenty of examples where like you give a team 10 years to make something, they'll put out Concord. You could have forced them to do that in 3 years and like just throw it together, but instead it takes freaking like 10 years. You give them enough time, they kind of dilly-dally until the last possible second. Like one of the other examples would be Marathon. We went to the studio in April, okay? The timeline. Okay, this is 2025. This is like the threshold of 26, okay? But we went in April. And when we went, they had no ranked mode. They only had 2 maps that they could show us. The third one was still being made and was still like gray boxed everywhere. They didn't have final UI. They didn't have final lighting. They didn't have final assets for a ton of it. They had to redo a lot of the assets because of the stolen artwork. There were a bunch of problems, but it was like they'd been working on this for, I think, 6 years at that point, and tons of it was not finished or was actively changing and shifting. Only 2 years before, they had pivoted away from the original design towards hero-based gameplay, choosing a hero with different abilities. And they were supposed to launch in September. And it was like, guys, how on earth are you going to do this? But it's because they had all this time, and then the crunch happened, and like, okay, we got to figure it out. Lock it in. Make it happen. They got a little bit more time. They launched a little bit later and they were able to make it better for sure. But they had all this time for years and years and years. But it seemed, at least to me, like the vast majority of substantial progress and change happened in the last like year, effectively. Same thing with like Assassin's Creed. We've seen this time and again, or Far Cry, or or Call of Duty, and all of these different examples where a ton of the work is condensed into the last little tidbit. So there's that. The other thing is actually specific to software development, which goes back to a book written in 1975. Brooks Law. Brooks Law is an observation about software project management that, quote, adding manpower to a late software project makes it later. Which is fairly straightforward. But according to Brooks himself, the law is an outrageous oversimplification, but it captures the general rule. Brooks points to the main factors that explain it and why it works this way. Quote, it takes some time for people added to a project to become productive. Brooks calls this the ramp-up time. Software projects are complex engineering endeavors, and new workers on the project must first become educated about the work that has preceded them. This education requires diverting resources already working on the project, temporarily diminishing their productivity while the new workers are not yet contributing meaningfully. What is a perfect example of this? We've looked at the videos. Remember, we watched the interview with what was his name? Will Shen. Will Shen. I think it was at DICE. I don't think it was at GDC. This talk. Yes. Remember how in this talk, Will Shen, one of the lead senior quest designers at Bethesda, in charge of questing for Starfield, okay? He said he spent a ton of his time making tutorials, teaching people how to use their tools because there weren't tools created for them. The tools were not intuitive, so developers had to learn how to use the creation engine. And so he had to stop being productive and you spend some of his time to get other people to the point where they could be productive.
And finally, we had to do a lot more tutorials. So I was in OBS Studio a lot making video tutorials. So on Fallout 4, when I needed to teach someone the tool set, I would just sit down with them and answer their questions. But now we were working with people from around the nation, sometimes around the globe. I often didn't know when they would need me, and I often didn't know who might need me or what they would need to know. So it became absolutely critical to do a lot more tutorials and how-tos about every feature of the toolkit.
Which is crazy that you have a senior quest guy that is having to do that. Continuing. Each new worker also needs to integrate with a team composed of several engineers who must educate the new worker in their area of expertise in the code base day by day. In addition, by reducing the contribution of experienced workers because of the need to train, new workers may even make negative contributions. I know about those. For example, if they introduce bugs that move the project further from completion. This is also a major component as to why a lot of studios are moving towards Unreal Engine, because it minimizes this type of thing. When you come into the studio knowing broadly, of course there's going to be proprietary stuff, but knowing broadly how the tool set works because you've used it at other studios, it prevents delays. It prevents easy mistakes where it's oh no, you didn't compile this before this. Oh no, the whole thing's ruined because you didn't know this one tweak of our engine that's weird. When you don't have to worry about that, you can save a lot of time. Communication overhead increases as the number of people increases, which is kind of obvious, but it needs to be said. Due to the combinatorial explosion, the number of different communication channels increases rapidly with the number of people. Everyone working on the same task needs to be kept in sync. So as more people are added, they spend more time trying to find out what everyone else is doing. This is what we've heard from those interviews with the CDPR devs when they had to completely restructure after Cyberpunk 2077, because so much time was being spent with middle managers trying to communicate and orchestrate stuff. You can't just scale up your team. It doesn't work that way. It's why when Asha was saying, hey, we'll just expedite Elder Scrolls, we'll just expedite Fallout. It's you can't really just do that. It's not that easy. Adding more people to a highly diverse or divisible task, such as cleaning rooms in a hotel, decreases the overall task duration up to the point where additional workers get in each other's way. However, other tasks, including many specialties in software projects, are less divisible. Brooks points out this limited divisibility with another example. While example, it takes one woman 9 months to make one baby. 9 women can't make a baby in 1 month. That's a good analogy. It doesn't matter how many you get in the room. It's not going to change things. So, I am glad to see that there are actual terms for these phenomena that we have discussed and brought up multiple times. The Brooks Law thing in particular is like a prime example. And they talk about it in software development, schooling and education and stuff. But I mean, it just goes to show you, going all the way back to 1975, like, these are phenomena everybody knows about. Like, you can't just scale stuff up and throw more money or people at something. It's not that simple. But there you go. It's always fun and interesting. My wife would sign up for that. Strike teams, right? Yes, that's what they called it. We're basically to get out of the busy work of one middle manager being in charge of 5 different teams, and those 5 different teams are doing 5 different things. Instead of doing that, you just basically have the strike teams that have their own agency, and it's risky because you're opening it up to, I mean, if those strike teams are bad at what they do, that, like, you can get screwed. But if they know what they're doing, then you're okay. You know, it's just a different way of doing it. But I think it's a great example of how when you have 100 employees, you can operate one way. But if you change that scale, if you go up to 400 developers, it doesn't work the same way. You've got to change how you operate. And most of the studios we've seen that have expanded really quickly without proper like infrastructure overhauls and like process overhauls, they end up not actually being more productive. Sometimes they're less productive. And I, again, not to just beat the dead horse 1,000 times over again and again, I think that's exactly what we've seen with like BGS, where they've grown like 4x in the last decade by headcount and by people working on their projects, but their output has seemingly plummeted. Like, it's really shocking how the quality of the work and then the volume of the work has plummeted while they've gotten way more resources. It's fascinating. Let's see. Kyle, thank you for the 8 months. That's what kickstarted this diatribe. I'm sorry. Gavin, thank you for that 5. Did you hear the rumors of God of War Laufey could potentially be shadow dropping? Which is why it didn't show an initial release date. Fingers crossed. I do think it's coming way sooner than anybody expects. As for shadow dropping, I don't know if Sony would do that. What I have learned is that you have to remember that the decisions for like marketing, for example, often come very, very high up the chain. It's like the senior marketing director, right? A lot of those people have been in the business for decades, including all the way back into like the magazine era and back into like the late 90s, early 2000s. And so they approach things in a more old school way, usually. Even when I think it's detrimental. Like, I still, maybe this is a hot take, and I would love to know if there's data on this, but I still think that Black Flag Resynced, if they had shadow dropped it when they announced it, I think it would have sold just as well, if not maybe better, than when it launches on July 9th. Personal opinion. Just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion. I think that surge of interest, you capitalize on it, ride that wave all the way back in the shore. I think it would work great. I think they would have enjoyed a lot of success that way. And I think it'll still sell great, but I think that would have been like an easy slam dunk, and they wouldn't have to spend as much money on marketing. Just let word of mouth carry it, you know? But I think that there's a general old school approach at Ubisoft where we do a marketing cycle. We do 3 months of marketing. We do this, this, and this. And like, I'm saying this as somebody that benefits from a long marketing cycle because we get trailers and videos I can react to. Like, I get more content out of a 3-month marketing cycle. I benefit from that. But I'm saying I think shadow dropping would have worked better for them. Okay, just my opinion. My superstition. But I do think that with like God of War Laufey, could they shadow drop it and find amazing success? Yeah. It's not really a shadow drop because they already revealed it. Like, if they had not revealed it, and then all of a sudden we get that 20 minutes of gameplay and it's playable now, go download it, go buy it. Then maybe you capitalize on that initial wave, but shadow dropping after I don't know. That's weird to me. I think they could do something where there's like a fall reveal or fall trailer, and then it's launching a month later or a few weeks later. They open for pre-orders or something. They could do that. I kind of suspect that maybe the reason that we didn't get a firm release date is because they were they were cautiously waiting just to be 1000% sure of when GTA 6 was coming out. They could shoot for December. I see that. Yeah, they could, but let's be real. Sony also really likes winning awards, and I think they expect Laufey to potentially win some awards. So going in December puts you right outside that nomination bubble. But then, like, where else do you go? It's kind of like, if it's this year, it's December or probably early to mid-October. And do you want to launch right next to your own Wolverine game? Probably not. So I don't know what their deal is. But my guess would be it's early 27. If I had to put money on it, I would say early 27. That would be my guess. Also, this is a clip that started making the rounds again. Whoops, I pressed the back button. This started making the rounds again. December is about to release. People will still be playing GTA 6. Well, they'll still be playing that. It's also a lot of people go on like family trips, so they're not at home necessarily with their consoles. That's something to consider as well. You do get Christmas sales, which, you know, people buying that for Christmas. And this is the other thing that that could be beneficial, is that there's going to be people buying their PS5s and Xbox Series consoles for the first time. They'll buy GTA 6 and they may want other games to fill out their library. And if you can be the new hotness with a AAA game, that could work well. You know, if you get your PS5 for November and then Christmas comes around and people are asking what they can get you for Christmas, and you're like, hey, I just got a PS5, maybe get me a PS5 game. That could be one of the strategies they're looking at. But with all this stuff, I mean, again, you got to remember, people are not going off vibes, okay? Like these industry decisions for release dates and timings, these are not just, I feel like that would do well. These decisions are made on like pure data and spreadsheets and like industry analyst projections of potential sale. Like they are going so deep into the numbers and player behaviors that it would blow your mind. And so they're not going off of guesses. You know, if they see the data suggesting that, hey, we did these surveys and it looks like Laufey launching too close to GTA and too close to Wolverine will cannibalize some sales, so let's just put it out in February. We think we can do that. You know, they're also judging other games that are releasing in that window that we maybe don't even know about, that they've heard rumblings of, like maybe Dusk Bloods is supposed to shadow drop around that time. That's kind of a problem because it's a From Software game. Does that cannibalize any of our sales, considering that it's also like a very critically acclaimed studio, but then again, it's also a multiplayer game and it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Like they have to consider all of this. But when you're playing in the realm of hundreds of millions of dollars invested in a project, you don't take risks. You know, you don't do that. Steam Machine, I just see people going all caps Steam Machine. Hold on. Is there breaking news? Is there breaking news? If not, you're banned. Hold on. Steam Machine. Searching. It is. Oh, hold on. Breaking news. Jacob, get your ass over here. Breaking news. Clip it now. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. It's broken and it's news. Oh, baby. The Steam Machine is dropping. It's dropping. And it's going to drop like a rock. Steam Machine, 512 gigabyte version is $1,049. 2 terabyte with controller is $1,428. The base version does not come with a controller, it seems. It comes with no controller. If you click the link, it's out of stock. It's gone. And it's gone. Wow, it's already gone. Cost of this package, I'm guessing with shipping, it's $1,128. And it launches June 30th. It will officially ship. If you want the controller, it looks like you have to get the 2 terabyte variant, and that comes with the wood panel and the different faces. And that specifically lists the controller as an addition. The base variant does not have a controller, it seems. That's wild. Okay. So it actually looks like, oh my God, what is happening? Is this the dark screen plugin I have? Why does it look like this? Oh my God. Refresh. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's much better. It's like I can't read a damn thing. So Steam Machine 2 terabyte with no controller. You can see, so they broke it out like this. So some of them include a controller, some of them don't. You have to join a wait list. Join the wait list anytime before June 25th at 10 a.m. On that date, the list will be closed and randomized, and you will receive an email with your results shortly after. Not a bad idea to fight scalpers. I'll be honest, I don't know why they don't just do like based on account history, like one per account, and your account has to be more than 2 years old or something. Like it's a Steam machine. Give it to like Steam loyalists, but whatever. I'm sure they have reasons. Maybe that you legally can't do that. I don't know. Anyway, so they have two variants. They have the 512 and they have 2 terabyte. For some reason they have the 2 terabyte listed twice, even though it's the same. It's the same thing. But they have 2 terabyte with controller and 512 with controller. 512 with controller is 1128. And if you don't want the controller, it's 1049 or whatever it was. This is some of it in action. Small form factor. I like the banana for scale. Yeah, both come with expandable storage via micro SD card. Okay. They showed actually running. That's about how big it'll sit on your desk. And I think, honestly, this is probably the general vibe people are going for. They will have Steam Machine verified tags for games, so people can specifically optimize for that. Great for streaming, so you can host PC streaming other devices. Okay, powered by Steam, optimized for gaming any form. Okay, they kind of show how this breaks down. 16 gigs of RAM. Blah, 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 blah. Wow, it can do 8K 60. I'm sure you'll get that regularly. And there you go. Separated by region. They are separated by region. What if I don't sign up by June 25th at 10 a.m. after a one-time randomization? At that time, anyone who signs up will be automatically added to the back of the list. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay. Honest question. I need to see everybody's. I'm sure you've been putting it in chat. But real quick, in chat, put your reaction to pricing. What do you think? Is this, are you still entertaining it, or is this a no-go? Is this a no-go for you, full stop? I'm going to be honest. Sorry. Okay, it's not surprising to me. The numbers, like, I had a feeling it was going to be really expensive. We had heard rumblings and rumors that they were also going to separate out the controller because you can get the total, like, ticket price down. So there's that. So I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed. I get it. This is beyond their scope. This is something they couldn't really control, but I'm not too surprised. Even still, it's going to sell out. Let's be honest. It's going to sell out instantly. It's right now you just get on a wait list and then they randomize it and then you can buy it. I'm going to be real. Like I'm probably one of the target audiences for this because I love the idea of having a little Steam machine that I can put next to the TV and I can play, games just quickly, or I can stream from my gaming PC straight up there. I know, of course, they have the Steam link. A lot of modern TVs even have the app, so you can stream from there. But I like the idea of having even a console-like experience where I can play the games natively right up on there. Whether it's something like Mina, or you're playing something like Octopath, or just something that's like less demanding, a Persona game or a Metaphor or something, and be able to play that just on the TV really cleanly. I like that idea. Okay. And I'm a YouTuber. I love spending money frivolously. It's a passion of mine. It's one of my passions in life. I love it desperately. But, bro, $1,000. And listen, I'm not like a tech wizard. Okay. I'm not like a magician who knows numbers and data and such, but people way smarter than me have said that this thing is probably in the realm of like finalized performance, like actual performance, probably a tad higher than like the Series S. So not on the level of like a PS5, but like a bit higher than a Series S in terms of performance. Which, for $500 with the PC library and stuff, maybe that works. For $1,000 though, for a less, that's a tough one, man. Like it's gonna sell well, and there's gonna be enthusiasts that buy it up and love it. And honestly, if you've never gotten into PC gaming, maybe this does make sense, because we have to, like, this is the thing, we have to remind ourselves. Okay, we gotta remind ourselves. It is not 2020 anymore. Okay, things are stupid expensive, getting more so constantly, especially electronics. So perhaps, to play devil's advocate, perhaps it's unfair of me to be like $1,000 when, 6 years ago I could get this other thing for 300 that's almost as powerful. Like I get it. Maybe that's not fair and reasonable. And I have a gaming PC. I'm fine as is. But if you've never gotten into PC gaming, and if you've been thinking of this being your entry point, I still think that this is a tough sell as an entry point. Like, there are going to be some people that eat this up and love it. And let's be honest, like, what they show in the marketing, like, look at this. What they show in the marketing materials. Okay, now it's actually working. Now the like page is working with the selector. So you can see the base model 512, no controller 1050. With a controller 1128, 2 terabyte 1350, with the controller 1428 for everything. But you can see, like, of the games that they actually show, they're showing Cuphead, they're showing Stardew Valley. Like, I think those are the people that this is marketed towards. And if you're playing those types of games, yeah, you don't need the firepower, and maybe the convenience of everything is worth it. But like, if you wanted to use this, like, I'm sorry, using this to like develop games, I'm not sure if that's going to be the actual use case. Like, let's be completely real. Let's be real. It's probably not the best bet for $1,000. Get a freaking Mac Mini. Those things are insane. Overall, man, I'm not surprised. It's just jarring to see it actually happen. And it's too bad. Like, honestly, I don't think, like, people throw around the term greed all the time, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, because there are certainly some cases where there is greediness at play, right? Like PlayStation increasing the cost of their PlayStation Plus subscription. It's like, bitch, it's a digital subscription. What do you mean the hardware RAM crisis is forcing you to charge more? Like, what are you talking about? That to me, much more greedy. This, though, pretty clearly is that they wanted to launch it late last year, or like very, very early this year, and then costs got insane, and then they're like, oh, we're not sure if we can sell this for a price anybody will pay. And so they delay it, try to source materials elsewhere and figure out components and pricing and distribution, all this stuff. And then this is just where it happens to land. And they don't want to subsidize it $500 a unit to the point where it's priced where people think it should be. Because they're not, it's not a charity. They're like, we don't want to just lose money. Like, we don't need to do that. We're Valve. Like, we're doing just fine. We don't need to lose money to win market share. We'll just put it out, cut costs in a year or two when things get cheaper, which I do think they will do. Like, to be clear, I think that in 2 years, this thing does not cost $1,000 anymore. I do think that they will cut it down eventually. But as of right now, this is just where it's landing. And it's tough, dude. I mean, it's tough. What are you supposed to do? It's just a tough spot to be. Nowadays. It sucks. And bear in mind, like, we have to rewind the clocks to when this was initially revealed, because when was the original Steam Machine? Hold on, come on. Steam Machine reveal. 7 months ago. And so it's a tough one. They're between a rock and a hard place. Oh, look at this, guys. We got a first review.
The Steam Machine is finally here after looming on the horizon for the last 8 months or so, and while Valve has been adamant that the Steam Machine is an entry-level gaming PC rather than a new fourth player into the console space, this little box has captured the attention of...
Which is really important, because when they revealed this is why I said rewind the clocks before I lost my train of thought. Professional streamer here. The original pitch was that they wanted to... was that, like, people thought that they were going to try to compete against like PlayStation and Xbox and Switch. Like, that was the original thought, was like, oh my God, Valve is like doing the console thing fully, not just a handheld, but like they're going to actually go head to head against like a Series S or a Series X or a PS5, which I think would be amazing. And that's why, like, when people were asking them, hey, are you going to price this thing at like 500 to like actually go head to head? It was like really, really exciting. And like really awesome. But that's not what happened. And apparently people who were asking Valve engineers about it were like, hey, so is this what, like, are you gonna like price it low enough to compete against PlayStation? And the faces everybody got back was like I think it was Linus said on his podcast, The WAN Show, he said like, I made an off the cuff comment. Hey, I think this could do so well if you guys were to maybe subsidize it a little and get it down to that $500 price range to compete against PlayStation. And he said he looked around the room, it went silent, and all the engineers were just like, so I think even back then, they weren't thinking of pricing it that aggressively. And I mean, now things are certainly worse, but what's crazy is that even priced at 1,000, they may still be subsidizing it a little. I mean, that's insane to think, but that's where we are nowadays.
So how much is it and how powerful is it? Well, Steam Machine has finally broke cover, and we finally have definitive answers to the former and benchmarks for the latter. Delayed owing to the hardware component crisis, Valve's beautifully tiny console-like PC is finally here, and from a form factor perspective, it's kind of irresistible. Imagine a taller Nintendo GameCube, and you have some idea of how tiny this thing is.
I'm gonna say I like the design. I wish it were transparent. Make a special edition that's clear, or I bet you could mod it and just do that. I like transparent electronics. I feel like that's where we need to move.
While performance falls into line quite nicely with what the Steam hardware survey defines as the quid.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, Richard. I'm sorry, Richard, to interject so much, but I want to actually look at performance where we're sitting. I mean, overall, it's not bad. Not bad. 1440p PS5 performance mode settings.
It's essential mainstream gaming PC. But man, the prices are gonna hurt. Starts at $1,049 or 879 Great British pounds for the basic 512GB model, rising to an oddly specific $1,128 USD or 938 pounds for the bundle pack with the Steam controller. Now, those prices rise to $1,349 USD or 1149 pounds for the preferable 2TB model. And that rises once again to $1,428 USD and 1,208 pounds for the bundles with the Steam controller. Now, the 2TB model also comes with a brace of faceplates, solid walnut and red fabric, but man, it's pricey. Very pricey. It definitely makes you think about considering a pre-built PC or building your own, and I'm sure there'll be a range of spec suggestions from anyone that knows anything about PCs. Valve itself in its blog isn't shying away from the fact that the audience has options and that they may well prove compelling. Ultimately, if you're buying PC games on Steam, they'll be fine either way. Still, there's something about this pricing I think we should consider. There's the physical machine itself, which has a premium feel, amazing form factor, virtually no noise in operation, very power efficient. The replaceable front plates, love it, very easy to work with, no screws, the panel is attached via magnets, so it's literally just a case of pulling off the existing cover and putting on the replacement. The standard Steam machine is an otherwise anonymous looking black box, so the opportunity to personalize it in such an easy manner is really nice, plus there's nothing to stop third parties making their own faceplates. Combine all of these things together and we have a lovely bespoke mini PC, and I think we also shouldn't lose focus on Steam OS itself, which remains an absolutely brilliant front end, packed with options. Everything that worked on deck works here.
And I gotta say, if any of you guys have tried playing, like, okay, show of hands. Who tried playing Forza? Who tried playing Forza through the Xbox app on PC? I did. Now you might ask, Luke, what did you think of it playing Forza through the Xbox app on PC? I don't know. I can never get it to launch. I had to buy it through Steam because to this day, downloading it still doesn't work. And apparently it doesn't work for a lot of people. It's amazing to me. Microsoft, multi-trillion-dollar company with Xbox, they can't get their own PC launcher working. It's unbelievable. So yes, it's on Game Pass if you can get it running. I would download it, you launch it, it does the splash screen of the artwork, and then it crashes. And then you Google it and everybody's like, oh, just reinstall it. You reinstall it. Still doesn't work. They're like, oh no, you have to disable your firewall while you're installing it. What? Okay, tried that. Still doesn't work. It's unbelievable. I don't know what's wrong. I wish I could figure it out. But after trying for a week and a half, I finally was like, screw all of this. And I just got it on Steam instantaneously. Download. It works great. No problem. No problem. Night and day. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. But that's just how it works. And so to have something like SteamOS where everything just works, or even just Steam, period. But SteamOS, everything just works. The other great thing about this, and this you cannot underestimate, fam, having one specific machine that somebody like Valve is backing allows for specific optimization and even shader pre-compilation through downloads and stuff like that. So if you download Resident Evil Requiem, the developers can already have the shaders prepared. They can already, just like on console, where everything just comes in an easy package, ready to go. It's little conveniences like that that are very, very nice to have. Is it that big of a deal if you're a PC savvy person? No, you update your drivers, you do all your updates and stuff. You're fine. It'll compile shaders when you load in. But the all-in-one, easy, just plug and play experience, there are a lot of people for whom that is paramount and very, very important. But you gotta pay for it up front.
The difference being that the extra performance makes for a flowing nigh on.
You getting paid for this? Lol, they sent you a Steam box. What? No, to be clear, I rewind the stream and see my initial reaction to the price reveal. I'm not buying this, fam. I love spending money. Look at all the Lego sets around me. I love spending money. For me, this just doesn't make sense. I'm going to be real. There are people that are going to eat this up, I'm sure, and more power to them. You can spend your money whatever you want to do. That's fine. For me, though, this doesn't make sense.
On flawless interface. So there's the experience, right, which is pretty flawless in my opinion, but then there are the quantifiables, specs and performance. And if that's your focus, yeah, obviously maybe you should be looking at the alternatives. If you're looking to upgrade your display and enhance your gaming experience.
Enhance the gaming experience. I do think that this is not something you're buying for. This is not something you're buying for, raw performance, because you can get better performance elsewhere building your own machine. And maybe it's not as small. Maybe it's like a mini PC case. And, maybe you spend the same amount, but you'll get better performance, or you spend a little bit less and it runs just fine. There are alternatives that are certainly a better value, especially if you're willing to buy older hardware or certainly used hardware as well. But that's not why you're buying this. You're buying this for the Steam experience, the all-in-one package. You're buying it for Steam official support. That's why you buy it. And if that's the premium you're willing to pay, more power to you. For me personally, again, the price isn't a surprise. We knew it was going to be probably $1,000. So seeing it come in at this point, I'm not really surprised. It's still going to sell out instantly. Resellers and scalpers are going to list it for $2,500, almost certainly. I just don't think it really makes sense. And especially going into later this year, I'd be surprised if this does amazingly well, especially just because a lot of people who are on that threshold trying to figure out where they should put money for their next gaming upgrade. If you don't have a console yet and you want to get GTA 6, you're choosing between the Steam machine and GTA 6, I think a lot of people will go with the console side and wait for this cost to go down. Enthusiasts will still get it. There's a lot of PC gamers that have money to burn and are looking for for something like this and don't want to have to build their own mini PC for their TV. They like the idea of the plug and play, but for $1,000, man, it's just a tough sell. And they know it's a tough sell. I mean, none of this is like amazingly shocking or anything, but it's just a really, really tough sell, which is why they delayed it as long as they did. They were trying to figure out how to get prices as low as they could, but it just is what it is. I just realized they're painting in the rain. That seems like needlessly difficult. You know, like, what are we doing? It'll never go down. Well, I guess that's maybe something to take bets on. I have a suspicion that once we hit like 2028 and they're able to start cutting costs and cutting prices, I think that there will be all of a sudden a bit of a race to the bottom. Maybe that's overly optimistic for me. But like if you look at, say, Asha, and let's say this is based on an assumption. The assumption being that Satya has actually tasked her with saving Xbox. It could be that he's just telling her to slowly kill it. Maybe that's what's happening. But if we assume that he has actually, as they both have said, if we assume that they're telling the truth in that the task for her is save Xbox and prevent it from dying, for her, if she's at the point where she can start to reclaim market share with the PlayStation 6 being $900 or something, and she can all of a sudden cut prices for the next Xbox down to 700 or 600 or 500. I think she'll do that. And when Sony sees that, they're going to panic, and then they're going to have to cut prices. And then you get the race to the bottom if they're not hemorrhaging money to an insane degree at that point by doing that. And I think once costs come down, I think a lot of places will start to do it. I don't think we are in for like a permanent $1,200 console floor. I personally don't think that. I think there will probably always be a $1,200 console, like a Pro. I think the Pro will stay higher. But I think basically what we're going to see is kind of like what happened with cell phones, where you have the premium priced thing at $1,300 or $1,200 or whatever, but they're still releasing phones that are $400, $500, $600, even cheaper than that, to try and get everybody in the market something, you know? And so I think that personally, we will see price cuts, whether it's the Steam machine. I think that they will eventually lower the price, or it's on the more traditional console side. I do think we will see stuff like that happen. But again, it has to be put out with the caveat that they're not going to just hemorrhage money. If their cost is $1,500, they're not going to sell it at $500. That's just not how it works. But if their cost is actually $500, maybe they do sell it at $550 or
At
$600.
Edgar Vasquez,
you know?
9,580 donated $20
Thank
through
you.
Super Chat. You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the high prices, not join them. Bring balance to the marketplace, not leave it in darkness.
Valve, you're the chosen one. This is the thing though, like the Valve, I think a lot of people thought, well, Valve makes ungodly amounts of money, so they'll just price it wherever and do it that way. The problem is, like, how many units did the Steam Deck sell? They've not released official numbers, but IDC at least estimates that they've sold approximately 4 million units since launch, okay? So that's in 4 years. Let's just say a quarter of that. Let's just say 1 million units for the Steam machine is like what they were expecting. I don't think they'll sell anywhere near that many now, but let's say 1 million. If they're hemorrhaging, let's say they subsidize this down. What would be a fair, like, what price do you think people would actually truly entertain the Steam machine? I think most people were already on the edge when we were talking about it being like 600. I remember, maybe we looked this up. Maybe we look it up. Hold on. Luke Stevens, live Steam machine. 7 months ago. Okay. Where do we talk about price? Let me find the price. Okay. What was our initial guess? Is this it? I think that this, assuming the price is not insane, this could be a slam dunk than a dedicated gaming device. If it's outperforming for a close enough price, it could sell. It could be sold a lot. But if many people might not consider it because it's not a black box you plug into your TV. I mean, my understanding is that the goal is for it to be the black box you plug into your TV, and that it just works. Like the reason why the Steam Deck is so appealing over like a Legion Go or a
Obviously, they have the Steam OS
maybe-
variant, but the reason why it's more appealing than like an ROG Ally, for example, is because the ROG Ally is just running Windows. Like it's a weirdly shaped.
Hold on, I'll search it. Their built-in search tool is crap. Hold on. Refresh.
Now, like
We'll do it live. Refresh. Give me the transcript. Maybe dollars? No. Cost. Yeah, we'll have to wait to see how much it costs. Maybe if I just do $. Okay. Steam Machine.
or $500 for the Steam Machine, and then
We're talking about $500, dude. 7 months ago?
but if they charge, I don't know, $400 or $500 for the Steam Machine, and then it's like even $100 upgrade for this, I think people still buy it. I think so.
We were saying 400 or 500. Can you imagine? 400 to 500 and then they charge 100? I think people still buy it. We were so naive. We had no idea. No idea. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, hold on. Listen to this.
For at that point, pricing, of course, is still to be disclosed. It will be available to buy at some point next year. Still no pricing disclosed either. But I mean, I'm assuming it's probably in that like $400, $500 range would be my guess. And if it's in that range, I think it starts certainly to compete with the Series S. If they can get it even cheaper, that'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely insane. I don't know. Because if it's able to outperform the Series S, then I think, you know, it being a little pricier could work. If it comes out and it's like $1,000, obviously, like, I don't think that works.
Oops. If it comes out as like $1,000, can you imagine if it's $1,000? I don't think that works.
If it comes out and it's like $1,000, obviously, like, I don't think that works.
Oops. Oh, silly Luke. Oh man. Yeah, who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? Oh man, that was we're so innocent. So naive. But if we say, like, again, we were talking about this and we were like, oh, maybe if it's $400 to $500 plus the $100 panels, we could see it being successful. But if we say hypothetically that they're gonna subsidize it down to where we were saying this could make sense, let's say 500. That means they'd have to subsidize this $550 per unit, and say they sell 1 million of them in the first year. Do they want to? I can't believe I just put that into the calculator instead of just. I wasn't thinking. Okay, I can do 550 times 1 million. I'm sorry, but like, let's say they do that. Do they want to sacrifice $500 million? No. No matter how generous Mr. Gabe is, there's no way in God's green earth he would just throw that away. Like, why would they do that? I just don't think so. That's such an oddly specific price. So I think the reason that the prices are listed here, 1050, I mean, that's like a square number. That's fine. I think the reason why it's 1128, 1349, and 1428 is to signal that they are not trying to price this. I mean, they're not doing the iPhone thing. They're not doing the Apple thing where they're just price laddering you. They're just like, this is where it is. This is where it is. It sucks, but it's expensive, but it just is what it is. There's just not much they could do. And they already clarified that their goal is not to subsidize it, you know. And let's be honest, if they do subsidize it, most of the benefit of those subsidies are just going to go to the scalpers, because these are going to get bought up with bots, and then they're all going to be listed. Even if they're not bots, there's going to be regular people that get access to it that are going to list it on eBay. It's going to be listed for $2,000. So even if they were to list it and sell it for $550, it's still going to be scalped, and the scalpers will be the ones benefiting from the subsidy. So, like, what's the point? What's the point? But as they said in the digital, where did it go? Did I close it? I must have. As they said in the Digital Foundry clip, like, Steam is already kind of acknowledging that, hey, we're aware you have options, that you don't have to just go with this, which is true. Again, this is something that if you've got a lot of expendable income and you're willing to pay a hefty premium for the convenience of SteamOS and tiny plug and play experience, then yeah, go for it. Have fun. Go for it. That's great. But I think for 95%, 99% of people, there are just frankly better options for your money than this. And I'm saying this as somebody that's a PC gamer. I love PC gaming. This just doesn't make sense. You know, like, what are we doing? Making shit expensive because of my scalpers. No, it's not losing $500 million because the only people that would benefit from it would probably be scalpers. And let's just be totally real. Part of the reason Valve is so successful and has so much money to begin with is because they don't do that type of thing. Like, they take their cut of their copies that they're selling on Steam and they ride into the sunset. Gabe buys a new $70 million mansion. And you know, he rocks and rolls. This was just a breaking news story. I don't know why this is a news story, but hey, I'm talking about it, so I guess it worked. Right here. Where is it? Yeah, just bought a new $70.8 million mansion. The reason Gabe is able to do this is because he doesn't subsidize the consoles and doesn't subsidize that stuff. Okay. Like, people are like, oh, well, he could. Yeah, he could. The reason he can is because he doesn't. Okay, that's why he's able to do it. Like, that's just how it works, man. Like, the reason he can buy this is because he doesn't do those types of things, you know? So anyway, I think that, like I said, final thoughts. This doesn't make sense for me. I already was like, I don't think this makes sense. And that was when I was thinking it was going to be priced at like $600 to $700. Priced at $1,000, there's no world in which this makes sense for me personally. But I think for a lot of you guys who are in the similar boat. As for who this makes sense for, it's probably the people with lots of expendable income who are just looking for paying a premium for convenience above and beyond everything else. In which case, yeah, it could make sense. But like, again, 99% of people, I don't think it makes sense. And I think Valve knows that. It is what it is. They don't want to lose money selling it, so it's going to be priced where it's priced, and maybe in 2 years they can do a price cut or something, but it just is what it is. Even still, I do think it's going to sell out because there's going to be people that buy it thinking that they can flip it and resell it, and I think those people will be in for a sore wake-up call, because if people are already scoffing at $1,000 per unit, trying to scalp it for $2,000 a unit, I don't think it's going to work. So I think you're going to end up with a lot of people that bought them up and don't know how to get rid of them. So who knows? Maybe the real strategy is to buy it from a scalper in like 3 months after they can't sell it, and they have to start listing it for lower than they bought it for just to get it out the door. That could be funny. That could actually be funny. But what are you gonna do? Makes sense for Gabe's kids. Oh well, yeah, they could buy it up. I guess. That could work. But again, I don't think this makes sense for a lot of more maybe price sensitive gamers, or even just gamers that already have alternatives lined up. You will make much, like, I think you'll be much better off buying one of the other gaming handhelds that you can dock, for example. Like the Steam Machine right there is priced at $1,400 for 2 terabytes or something. You can go with like a Legion Go 2. This thing is freaking amazing. I have a Legion Go 2 and I freaking love it. It's phenomenal. It's got the removable controllers, kind of like the Switch. It's also got an OLED screen. It's a handheld. You can dock it so that you can play the games on the TV and then pick it up and go. It's full PC. They also are doing a variant of it that's going to run SteamOS as well. This thing is freaking amazing, and it's powerful enough that you can play all AAA games nowadays on it. 144 hertz screen. Like, at some point, it just doesn't make sense because there are alternatives that just do way more for about the same price, you know, and that's kind of where I think a lot of people are going to land. And I encourage you to explore your options, you know, powered by SteamOS, as you can see. So, you know, whatever the benefit is you're looking for, you can find it. My recommendation would be to explore options before going with the Steam Deck, because I think you'll be really impressed at what's out there. Even with the price hikes, it's pretty crazy what's out there. Lenovo software kind of sucks though, but sick machine. I've had good luck with it, honestly. I've really liked the Legion Go's stuff. The only thing I had an issue with my Legion Go 2 was the fingerprint scanner on the top. It will occasionally have problems where it like doesn't scan properly. But even then, you just swipe the screen and enter your password and then you're fine. But yeah, that's the only thing I've had issues with. Everything else works great. Even the detachable controllers, you just pop them off and then you're good to go. Traveling a lot, flying a lot, this thing is freaking amazing. Because especially you can lower the wattage of it and then charge it with the like 60 watt charger in like the under the plane seat. So you bring a little charging brick, plug it in, and you can play for like a 4-hour flight nonstop. Just there on the tray, like on the plane. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Technically, I guess you could bring the Steam machine and then like a portable like display or something. But dude, just telling you. So anyway, that's the breaking news. Steam machine priced at over $1,000, and the default configurations come with no controller. If you want the controller, you got to pay extra. Which with the controller, it starts at $1,128, 2 terabyte variant, even more than that, peaking at $1,400. And I would just encourage you, look at some other options before you decide to go with this. And if you're thinking you're going to buy this to scalp it, I would first of all say, screw you. But secondly, I would say, just be aware. I don't think we're not in 2020 anymore. 2020, the reason scalping worked for the PS5 was because there was limited inventory and there was way more demand than inventory. With this, I don't think the demand is going to be that high, except with scalpers. So I would say, if you're thinking of scalping it, just be aware you may end up with a $1,300 box that you can't sell. Just being real. But there you go. There you go, fam. There you go. A little breaking news for you today. Okay. Oh yeah, you guys remember when I said I somebody was like, Luke, how much of SpaceX did you buy from the IPO? And I was like, I don't buy IPOs, especially not for hype stocks. I don't do that. Well, this is why. The average IPO that like standard in the tech space drops approximately 52 to 55% in the first year from where it starts. And then it climbs back up. But it's very, very common that people will offload and dump shares and, do that over the first year. Just don't buy hype stocks. Please, you'll lose lots of money. This isn't that complicated, but please stop. Not financial advice, just saying. Anyway. Okay. We caught up there. Farzam lives in Canada and said, living in Canada has never been this painful. $1,600 for the Steam machine is damn near $1,850 after taxes. Why would I buy this console over a PS5 Pro that's also getting GTA 6 this year? I don't understand the point of this thing. Well, I think it made sense before the price hikes were mandated. But I mean, I agree. It's kind of a tough sell, to put it lightly. But yeah, $1,850 Canadian to get it is that's rough. We still have free healthcare. There's that. Maple syrup. Here you guys got lots of that. So there's that. Call it even. I don't. Is that fair? Is that fair? Wait, what is happening? What? Is this real? The first look at Nick Cage in Black Ops 7. Oh, yeah, that's a fair reaction, dude. I love Nicolas Cage. Have you seen the clips of Nick Cage doing the Spider-Man Spider-Man Noir voice. Dude, it's unreal. It's unreal. But it's like exactly what I would hope for him to do. He's just a crazy person. Like, it's just insane. Where's I need a snippet. Just a snippet of him talking. That's all I need. No, I need Spider-Man Noir. Spider Noir. I just need the snippet. I just need the snippet. I'm scared to scroll X with the screen on, because knowing them, there's gonna be random videos of people being killed or porn or something. And I don't want to deal with that. I just need a clip. I just need a clip of him talking. Oh, it's funny. That's why I wanted to show it. That's why. Just show me a snippet. Is this it? Just a bit of him talking. I just need a sentence. Is this it? No, that's not. Okay. It's like they don't want to show him talking. He does the whole, yeah, see, listen here, see, thing. It's amazing. It's freaking awesome. It's great. It's totally unhinged, but there you go. Also, apparently we have a new screenshot. A new screenshot of OD by Hideo Kojima. When you add some brightness, you can see some details. I have a feeling that this is going to be just like PT2. I think it's going to be like really spoopy. Nobody's going to have any idea how to do anything. And it's not going to make a lick of sense, but we'll all have to pretend like it does. But it's going to be pretty. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, that's my guess. I'm going to be real. Sometimes I love Kojima. Kojima's great. He's a funny guy. Loves his feet. Loves feet. Big foot guy. I like Kojima a lot. Dude, as I'm saying, Kojima loves his feet. He loves feet. I scroll down and this is the page. Wario, what are we doing? What? I'm not going to click on this because I don't need my algorithm flooded with whatever that is. It's just different foot poses. Okay. Kojima probably bought that. I think, Kojima's a fun guy, but bro, some of his fans are wild. Some of his fans will say like literally anything he does is groundbreaking brilliance, even when it doesn't make any damn sense and it's just stupid, okay? And stupid can be fun. Stupid can be silly and enjoyable, but sometimes it is still stupid. Just saying. Okay? Like I don't it's okay if something wacky happens and there's not some like big explanation for it. Like it's okay. It's okay that Conan O'Brien shows up randomly in Death Stranding and it's not really like, that's okay. We don't have to pretend like it's some sort of meta discussion on the importance of mass media involvement. Like sometimes it's just a cameo, Just what I'm saying. And with this, I expect that OD is going to be wild and crazy and it's going to be borderline nonsensical, but it's going to be something that will generate a lot of discourse. No doubt. Is that a sunroof but with windows on the ceiling? This might just be a non-American thing. Is this a thing in your part of the world where you just have a window on the ceiling? Like I know there's sun roofs, like they'll do that, or sunlights, they'll call them sunlights sometimes. Skylights, they'll call them skylights sometimes. But this is like a window. It's got a crack in the middle to open. Is that like a normal thing? I don't know. No. I don't want to judge. Some of you guys might in different parts of the world put windows on ceilings. No judgment. I'm an ally like that, you know? Put windows wherever is what I say. That's what I say. Go windows on the walls, on the ceilings. Hell, put them on the floor. I don't care. I don't care. Yes, in kitchens? Yeah. Sure. That's great. It's a coal hole. Oh. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. So Oscar-winning filmmaker Jordan Peele, starring Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and the late Udo Kier. Kier was 3D scanned before his death in November 2025, and active filming with the rest of the cast has now begun. The title OD refers to making the player overdose on fear, aiming to push the limits of scariness in a single-player experience. Features a highly secretive, never-before-seen game system that will somehow allow terrified players to keep going even when the game gets too scary. Kojima's pitch was initially rejected as crazy by multiple major companies before former Xbox CEO Phil Spencer understood the vision, securing the boundary pushing game for the Xbox platform. What do you think the odds are that this is just like an auto walk button? Revolutionary thing that lets you keep playing even when you're scared. Is it just a play for me button? Is that what it's going to be? It's like, oh no, I'm too scared. Press triangle and they'll keep walking without you having to control it. I'm curious because sometimes these types of things end up being not actually that innovative or groundbreaking. Like even like the strand based stuff with Death Stranding. I really like Death Stranding as like a calm, relaxing rainy day game. I know for some people it's not relaxing. I find Death Stranding really relaxing. I really like it. But even that, like, am I going to call strand games a new genre? I don't know, man. Like even like Dark Souls was doing that with like the notes, the community notes, everybody contributing together to point players or troll players and stuff. It wasn't building literal bridges, but I mean, you were basically directing players that way, you know? Like, I don't know if I'd call that revolutionary, but this is apparently a highly secretive, never before seen game system that will allow terrified players to keep going even when the game gets too scary. Watch as it's prayer. It's like, say a prayer. And the demon goes away for a minute. We'll see. Kojima describes it as a deeply moving game. Quote, I wanted to go beyond the limit of scariness that other games had reached. It's a single player game, and I wanted to make it as scary as possible. But for those that might stop playing when it gets too scary, I have thought of a system that will allow them to keep going. I can't say much more because it'll give too much of a hint on the system, and I could get in trouble for saying too much. It's going to be an auto walk button. It's a menu that when you press a button, pauses the experience so that you can recover and recoup. Kojima, isn't that just a pause button? No. It's a recover button. You're welcome. I will say, when Kojima wants to be spoopy, he can do it. PT's goated. PT is goated. Love it dearly. But yeah, sometimes he's a little silly. Sometimes. Yeah, the prayer button, the time stop button. Time stop. Oh, Kojima. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I'm willing to be amazed, you know? Willing to be amazed. I want to be surprised. But we'll see. Okay, we got through that. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, I think I was going to talk about this right as we got distracted with that. Here's a refund button. It's an uninstall button. One button and the game deletes itself. Groundbreaking. Let's see. DVD, thank you for the vibe. The Steam Deck is $700 to $900. How on earth can we expect the Steam Machine is going to be $500? Well, to be clear, we were talking about this back. That clip we looked at was from last year. So, like, it was from 2025. So things were different in 2025 in terms of hardware pricing. Things have gotten a lot worse. But that's there's a difference between what is realistic and what people will tolerate. Because there's certainly some price points that are totally unrealistic, but that's what people would expect to pay. You know, like it's just is what it is. There's not much more you can do. Apple is saying that they're gonna have to raise prices on their phones. Like, I think for Apple to come out with a whatever they're on, 18 Pro Max, 17 Pro Max, whatever they're on now, for them to come out and be like, yeah, we're going to sell that, and that's going to start at $1,600. That's probably not insane for what they have to pay for the device to maintain normal margins, but is that what people are going to tolerate? That's a separate question, you know? Separate question. Wallet the Go, thank you for the 2 months. It would sell well, fanboys will fanboy. Look at the PS Portal for what it is. It sold remarkably well. 2028 with the glorified Series S is pure horror. Well, I think players are starting to slow down a little bit in terms of overall spending, and I do think that you got to consider, especially for PC gamers, there are a lot who will just wait for GTA 6 to come to PC. There are going to be some that are willing to buy into a console to play it, especially like the hype cycle is crazy now, but once we get like a month out, a few weeks out, that's when people are going to start to make those like last second rash decisions. Oh, I'll just put it on a credit card. You know, that's when people will start to do that. And I think those people are more likely to go and buy a console than like a Steam machine for, you know, 50% more or whatever. Good kid, thank you for the 2. You saw the price of Steam machine? Yes, we did just talk about it. You can rewind the stream if you want to hear the breakdown. Sierra, thank you for that one. Why do you think Nintendo is the only one getting away with raising game prices? I think it's that they have an Apple thing going on with their fans. Well, they're in their own bubble, and they've crafted that bubble very carefully, and they benefit from it. But yes, they very much have created their own little bubble. And there was blowback, sure, but then like it blew over, and they're releasing other games that are going to be priced at 80, and I think Duskbloods is going to be 80, and that's just going to be the new norm for them, and it just is what it is. And clearly, like, people still bought it. As always, if you vote with your wallet, they will adjust. And like that was what we saw with Microsoft when they revealed that Outer Worlds 2 was going to be 80. Everyone was like, no, are you kidding me? Like, no, we're not doing that. And pre-orders were non-existent. And so then they had to announce that they were lowering the price down to 70 because people didn't buy it. They voted with their wallet. They're like, no. Nintendo fans seemingly still bought it and are tolerating it. And maybe if they stopped doing that, things would change. But if they can get away with it, why would they change it? If they can get away charging everybody $80, why would they not charge 80? You know, like, what are we doing? Of course, they're going to get more money, you know, and they really benefit from it because one of the perks of like a multi-platform publisher charging $80 for them is that they can then put it on sale. And they're like, wow, we're very generous. We're going to put it on sale, $10 off. Now it's only 70. And it's like, bitch, that's what it used to be. What do you mean? What do you mean that's a gift to us? That's a sale. That's just normal. That's full price. It's now gone from ultra full price to just regular full price. But they can be like, oh, we're very virtuous. You're welcome. Say thank you. But Nintendo doesn't put stuff on sale ever anyway. So, you know, they don't even have to deal with that. Problem solved. Problem solved. They've really cracked the code. Let's see. Musi, thank you for the 6. Did you go over the Steam machine already? It's available for purchase now. Well, to be clear, you're able to get on a list. And then when it goes up for sale, on the 25th, they will shuffle the list and then send emails to people to order it. So it's not on sale right now or not available for purchase now. You can put yourself on a list to be able to purchase it soon. But yes, we did talk about it. Nerdy Giant, thank you for the 5. There is just no way new consoles will sell. A delay needs to happen or something. They seem to be confident in moving forward. There was just a report that came out the other day about how apparently, like, Sony specifically is not delaying, and they're continuing to operate internally under the assumption that it's late 27 for the PlayStation 6. So I'm also surprised, but maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they can figure out a way to make it not ungodly expensive, but they are apparently moving forward. Now, that does not mean that Xbox is moving forward at the same time, they might delay, but it does seem like they are, at least Sony is operating under the assumption that 2020, late 2027 is when they're going to launch the next gen, which is wild, but because the current expectation is that the hardware shortage problems don't really start to get fixed until 2028, which could just mean that the start of next generation is just going to be super limited and it's going to be ridiculously expensive. I mean, maybe that's how they deal with it, is it's just like, yeah, it's expensive. Sorry, it is what it is. Next year we'll release the cheaper variant of the console and it'll be what it's going to be, but that's just how it is. Maybe that's how they're going to deal with it, because as far as I can tell, like, there's no way the next gen consoles are going to be anywhere close to the starting price that they were this past gen. Like, we're not launching at 400. We're not launching at 500. We're launching a good bit higher than that, you know? Like, I just don't see it. Why there's no 1 terabyte? Oh, for the Steam machine? I think they're not expecting to sell very many of these, so they had to pick their SKUs strategically. So they have the low storage SKU at 512, which is what you're going to buy if you're really price sensitive. Still buying a $1,000 machine, but you can upgrade storage later with a micro SD card. Problem solved. If you are, but there are people out there, believe it or not, who are not price sensitive. There are people out there who look at the $1,100 version and the $1,400 version and say, screw it, I'll just do $1,400. I don't care. And for them, yeah, go to 2 terabytes, do whatever. Like, they're willing to pay the premium. Why not? You know? Whales. Well, I don't know about their weight, but sorry. That's stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It seems pretty presumptuous to assume that they're large. Nerdy Giant, thank you for the 5. Or they go heavy into subscription services. Yeah, or they just have a crippling credit card problem. You never know. You never know. It's just people you see in financial audit. Dude, it's like that one lady I saw with I saw a clip where she had bought, I can probably find it real quick. She had bought, like, I think she was making like sourdough starter videos or something. Like, she's making videos that are not exactly high production value, but she had spent something like $5,000 on a laptop. And they were all like, what? How did you even do that? Like, how did you even do that? Oh, no, my kid's filled with like AI slop videos. Yeah, no, all the videos. I was like 5 financial audit, 5K laptop, 5. Maybe if I just do 5,000, we can find it. But it's all these like, no, I'm not gonna find it. Damn it. It was a lady who spent 5K on a MacBook Pro that she didn't need, and then was like shocked when people were giving her crap for it. Those are the types of people that might be able to do it. Proud to be geeky. Thank you for the 10. I'd guess Kojima's system will allow remote random player to take control and play for you for a set amount of time. Think Souls summonings. Probably explained in game as ghost possession of the player character. That's a really good idea. Proud to be geeky. I'd be interested in how that plays out, because he's stressed so much that it's a single player game, and that would start to make it feel like multiplayer, even though it's not technically multiplayer because you're 2 individual players doing that. So that, like, there's a way for that to work. But that is at least similar in concept to what Death Stranding did, with players collaborating together and helping each other. So that could work. AI plays for you. Well, that would basically just be in like auto play button. But it's got to be whatever it is. He's suggesting that most major publishers didn't understand the vision and like weren't willing to do that. It turns it into a movie. That's kind of my guess, is that knowing Kojima and how he wanted to blend cinema and gaming, like maybe it just turns to scripted camera movements and it just turns it into a movie and plays for you effectively. I don't know how that's like, if his groundbreaking gameplay system is that you press a button and then it turns from a game into a movie. I hate to be that guy. It's not a gameplay system. It's a movie system. Okay, like, you're pressing a button to turn it from a game into a movie. It's an ungameplay system. Like, what are we doing? I hate to be that guy. I'm just gonna say it. Like, are we being serious right now? It's a gameplay system that lets you not, you know. Brilliant, bold. I love it. Yeah, it opens a DVD menu. You've done it again, Kojima. You've done it again. Kino, hold on, let me see. Oh yes, I see. I scrolled too fast. Let's see. Oh, I missed a bunch. I'm sorry, guys. I guess I scrolled too far and I skipped like 5 of your messages. I'm sorry. That is my bad. I did not realize that. Okay, where did I leave off? I gotta read this. Oh my god. I skipped so many. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I did not realize. All this time you guys have been sitting there like, Luke, when are you gonna get to my message? I did not realize I skipped all these. Okay, I read that one. Okay, Buttery Cheeks. Hell yeah. Thank you for the 5. Luke, I played GTA 5 day 1 back in 2013 and took the day off. I was 24 years old. I'll be doing the same now at 37 for GTA 6. Feels wild. I actually, dude, after seeing the responses to our little like trip down memory lane video that we did on the Clips channel, I actually like really want, this one. I really want to do you guys want to investigate options, because we looked at this clip of like these people back in I guess it was it 1999? When was it? What is this? When was it? 2000. It was in 2000. I look back at this and seeing the midnight launch and everything. I was like, should we try to organize like a community event? Like a meetup or something. We meet up in Denver for anybody that can. And we just like stay up all night. We rent out a movie theater and play GTA 6 on the movie theater screen if they let us. Like, I wonder if we could do something like that. That could just be fun. Like an actual sort of midnight launch. And yeah, bro's lit, dude, for real. I wonder if we could do something like that. I think that could be really, really fun. I think that would be really fun. I don't know how we would be able to do it, because I'm sure other people are going to be trying to do meetups and things, but I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be freaking sweet. So I do want to do that, or something like that. I think that'd be crazy. I think it'd be really, really cool. But we'll figure it out, because obviously there's like safety concerns, and then I want to make sure that people are able to come and do it. So we'd have to juggle it. But anyway. The Quantico Man, glad to have you here, my friend. Thank you for the 10. If you could make the story for the next Cyberpunk game, how would you make it so the story isn't so dire that I don't want to do side quests? Oh, so dire that like it's super urgent and you don't do any side stuff. I think the biggest thing is you can have a sense of urgency, or you can have some sort of major crisis that's driving the story and the narrative. But you want to give it enough breathing room that there's time, or that certain story progression beats are tied to your actions or your capabilities. So what like The Witcher 3 did is that they've got Ciri, spoilers, like Ciri is kind of on the run and in hiding at different stages throughout the story, and you're kind of chasing her down. But progression is tied to you reaching certain thresholds and basically checkpoints in the story to progress it. So if you want to search for her in White Orchard, you can go and explore. And that's how a lot of games will do it, is they'll be like, search for clues in White Orchard. And the only way you'll get the clue to progress the main story is by building up maybe your reputation, or by solving some major quest line with the Bloody Baron or something to get the information that you need to continue progressing. So there's ways that you can do it. It just is like, instead of everything being super crazy urgent, and it being so urgent that it's like your child's been kidnapped, like in Fallout 4, where you'll cast everybody aside if they're not helping you directly with your goal. If you have the crisis motivated by broader progression or reputation building or relationship building, finding comrades, a lot of people or a lot of games will do that, where it's like, we're going to go attack the castle, find allies, I'll meet you back here in the winter solstice or whatever. And they do it that way. That's a great way to do it. There's options. There's options. But again, it's just broad strokes. Just don't make it so urgent that it makes it so you can't take anything, or you don't want to engage with anything else. You know, doing like having your child kidnapped is always going to make everybody like very irrational trying to chase down that one objective, because that's too urgent a task, right? As opposed to another task where it's like, hey, we need to find information about the bad guy. That's vague enough that you can do that. As for specific ideas, I would have to think about it. But yeah. Shake and Bake, thank you for the 2. Could the new KCD be Father Godwin's story? I think it could be. I think it mainly just depends on what they want to do for the next trilogy. Because maybe, like, for me, I think the Hussite War is like such a massive event that they probably don't want to just knock that on one game. You could probably do an entire trilogy just on those, like the Hussite Wars, because that's like a 15 year period of fighting. So one game might not be enough. But if they're going to do that as a trilogy, then maybe you do break it up and you do Godwin's story or something like that as a prequel, or whatever you want to do. Or you do parallel storytelling during Henry's journey where you take somebody else's perspective. There's all sorts of stuff that they could do, but it just kind of depends on what the broader vision is. And you got to remember, they're also doing a TV show or movie or whatever it's going to end up being. So I'm sure it's all going to tie into that as well. Ghost Boy, thank you for the 5. Can we do members only video of the lore of Caleb's mom? My wife wants to know about her also. Praise Todd, drink candle. Praise Todd, drink candle indeed. And maybe we do. Maybe we bring on Caleb's mom and we just have a conversation, figure out what's going on. Maybe we do that. That could be good. Rogue Varagon, thank you for the membership. Click JJ, thank you for the 5. Hey Luke, do you think about Witcher 3 DLC for next year? Do you think Witcher 4 will be bigger than Cyberpunk? I personally think yes, it will be bigger, and I think it's the Witcher 3 DLC I'm very, very, very excited about. Yes, I do think it'll be very big. I think it'll be a big deal. And I think it'll do very well. Night Roamer, thank you for the membership. Ghost Boy, thank you for the membership. M. Isaac, thank you for the membership as well. Again, just a reminder for everybody, if you are a member, we have all new members only content that is going up exclusively for members. All you have to do is go to Luke Stevens Live, the membership tab, and you can see, boom, right here. Look at this. Me giving a breakdown of the wildest review I ever did, behind the scenes stuff that you never heard about. Crazy. You might have heard about rumblings of it here and there, but right there. Also Twitch subs. Thank you, the Dork Knight. What a great name. Dork Knight just gave 25 freaking subs over on Twitch. It's a great time for me to tell you that Twitch subs also get access to our Discord, and these videos are shared there too. So you also can enjoy it. Everybody, whether you're gifted a membership or sub, or you're getting it through your own resources, I don't know. You can get access to it as well. Thank you, the Dork Knight. That's incredibly, incredibly generous of you. Thank you. My goodness. Welcome everybody who just got those. They're going to be playing on screen for 15 minutes. Thank you, my friend. That's incredibly generous. Thank you. And welcome everybody. If you've not connected your accounts, get them connected, because you can go and see these types of videos. As you can see, we tried this horror game that was quite spoopy, and I end up, because of course I'm me, I end up telling random stories, showing you my my book I got signed by Zahi Hawass, talking about the time I met him, and all that. There's all sorts of craziness involved in this video. It's a good time. Highly recommend it. My queen, my babe, my flame, my muse just arrived. Welcome. How are you? You're live. How are the kiddos?
Good. They enjoyed their morning.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Ori said he got in a fight.
Oh, Ori got in a fight. The kids are doing something new for Monday mornings, and Ori's a little bit of a rabble rouser, so he always has.
Another kid hit me.
Oh, another kid hit him?
So what'd you do? He goes, I got in a revolt. And I was like, did you? He goes,
You're like, I don't believe that for a second. He's like, yes, I did the responsible thing, and I did not act in turn. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't believe you for a second. That's fantastic. That's hilarious.
did you see your emails?
No, I did not. Should I check it?
Questions about what's happening today. It's happening tomorrow.
Like you asked if it's happening?
No.
Okay. I don't see I don't see emails. Maybe here. Hold on. My wife is telling me to check my email on stream. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Just tell him. I think tell him tomorrow. That's fine. Tell him tomorrow. Does that not work? I'm just.
It's fine.
I'm just here.
It's fine.
We can tell him today. Whatever works. Anyway. Yeah. We are rocking and rolling. Is there anything else for me to be aware of? Changes, evolutions.
No, just that upstairs is gross looking, and I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna help clean.
I will. That's why I was saying tomorrow. We'll do the
Oh,
meeting
so you
tomorrow.
don't have to clean till tomorrow.
No, we clean.
Got it.
We clean later today.
No, I understand.
Yeah, Romeo also hardcore. I have a tree in the backyard. The tree has it lost some branches in a snowstorm that weighed down the branches and snapped. And I was like, okay, well I cut them off at the base and whatever, cleaned it up, made it okay. But then I was like, how is it we didn't have another snowstorm? There's more branches that are snapped. And then I looked on the camera that watches the backyard and I found a snippet of Mr. Romeo straight up doing Zaboomafoo, George of the Jungle swinging on the tree branch. He like jumped up, grabbed it with his mouth and is like swinging and pulling the branch from the under it in the yard. And sure enough, he's like a 90-pound dog. He's huge. And like ripped a bunch of branches off. So now I've got to trim a bunch of the tree now. If anybody has any suggestions on how to keep your dog from swinging from tree branches, please tell me. They don't cover this in dog training. I don't know how to deal with it. Much love. I saw the video. I was like, is he actually doing that? Like he's just swinging. I should find the clip. It was insane. It was like actually insane. But he also has like broken the branch that he snapped is like pretty big around. Like it's not a small branch either, and he just destroyed it. And so I don't know how to deal with it. It's above my pay grade. That's not a dog. That's a monkey. Well, he's very cute. He's a very cute guy. He's a very cute monkey if that's what he is. But yeah, dude, he's just a little fiend. Where's the video? Where I have a picture of him. Because he's also just a goober. Yeah, I've shown this picture previously. But I'm pretty sure he's not a monkey. I'm pretty sure. He's a good boy. He's just a freaking monkey dog. I don't know what to do. Did he lose any teeth? No. It started with him just pulling at leaves, picking them off one by one, and like, because I guess he was bored. He's like, oh, I'll try this. And then he grabbed the branches and realized he could pull like the whole branch down when he started pulling on it. And then he just got more and more confident to the point where now he like jumps up, grabs the branch, and like kind of jumps and swings with it. It's like, what are we gonna do? MJ, I stepped away for a minute, came back, and Nikki was here. Dad's scared with the shadow in the back. Yeah, she does that. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, so for people asking how you connect it, just go to your Discord settings. There's the gear button. Then there's a connections tab. Go to connections, connect your Twitch or YouTube account, and it should invite you to the server relatively soon. Sometimes it takes people like seconds. Other times it takes people hours, but there's that. Also, for people that sent me emails over the weekend, yes, I did see those. We had a bunch of family stuff for like Father's Day, so I wasn't able to sit down and send the invites. But if you send me an email about your connection not working, we will get to you and get you the info you need, okay? Don't stress it. Okay? What kind of a watch am I wearing? It is a Seiko Solar Diver Watch. Yes, Seiko Solar Diver Watch. They're really nice. They're very, very tough, and they're not expensive enough that you're gonna like stress wearing it places. So it's just a tried and true, nice and simple watch. And because it's a solar, it charges just by you being outside. So it has like a 6-month battery reserve. It's just nice and tough. How much does it cost? I think it's a couple $100, I believe. A couple $100, I think. It's been a minute It's been a while, but yeah, it's just nice and easy. Thought you were wearing an Omega. I do love Omega. Omega's great, but like you get a nice Omega, you're going to be stressing about wearing that out and about when you're doing stuff. The nice thing about something like this is that it's a good watch, gets the job done. People notice it. It's eye-catching, but it's also if it gets crushed by a rock when you're outside doing landscaping, like you're not going to stress, you know, not going to stress. Outside, what's that? Exactly. 200 equals 500. Yeah, it's a couple of steam machines. Yeah. Or what? No, it's a half a steam machine. I was still thinking they were 500, dude. Got whacked back to reality. Let's see. Again, thank you, Night Roamer, Ghost Boy, and I am Isaac for the memberships. Mercurial Funk, thank you for the 5. Hey Luke, I asked this a few streams ago, but I think I missed it because of work. Is there recent news about Mass Effect game? No, they're still in like total lockdown. They apparently have about 80 people working on it right now, but it is very early, even still. So I still would expect that that's next gen, 4 years away, probably. Like I think it's probably a good ways away. Which is maybe what it needs. Honestly, if they give them enough time to get it done, that's great. But yeah, apparently they're still working on it. It's just a smaller team working on it. More of like a AA size team right now. And then they'll ramp it up as they get further along, but probably. Matt Man, thank you for the 5. If expedited Fallout means Obsidian or other dev, I'd love to see that drop creation engine for UE5, see what's possible. Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing is that even expedited is still like 3 to 4 years away. You know, I think that's the piece people are missing. People like read that, and you read reactions on TikTok or on Twitter, and people are assuming that means, oh, next year. And it's like, it just doesn't, guys. That's just not how that works. You know, like it's just not that simple. It takes a long time. Well, the great thing for that, Bunnies, is proof that Strauss-Zelnick's management approach isn't always the right way. Sony, oh, maybe you mean Bungie? Maybe? Sony gave Bungie way too much leeway and they screwed it up. I think you meant Bungie's, it says Wallet. I think you meant Bungie. I mean, well, Bungie is not related to Strauss. Obviously, like Strauss, I don't think is totally hands-off. I think you earn being hands-off with Strauss. If you're Rockstar, do whatever you want to do. But if you are Bungie and Take-Two owns you, I think they would be paying more attention. It's the same thing. Like Strauss seems to be hands off with Rockstar and hands off with Judas / what is his name? Ken Levine, because he did BioShock. So I think that he's hands off once you've earned it. If you've not earned it, they're much more involved and have stricter guidelines and expectations. But once you've earned it, he'll go hands off. With Sony, it just seemed like they bought Bungie thinking that it was just going to be an easy cash cow, and then it turns out it's not. And as further leaks and rumors have come out in the last 6 months, it seems pretty clear that Bungie was not in a good spot even when Sony bought them. So it's not, you know, I think if they were not blinded by the hope of quick and easy live service money, I don't think they would have bought Bungie. So, have I played Karn, or Karn? I never know how to pronounce it. The climbing game? Yes, and I really, really liked it. It's really good. It's very relaxing, very chill, great for handheld gaming. Very good. I didn't know how they were going to make a game about climbing a mountain. Fun, but they did. It's very good, and it can be quite challenging too. Fearboat, thank you for the membership as well. Use Sunt THQR, thank you for the 5. I will keep my PS5. I think most people will. Alucard, thank you for the 5. What are your predictions with how much money GTA 6 is going to make in pre-orders alone? I mean, I think over $1 billion. It depends if you're counting. I know some people are saying $1 billion day one. Other people are saying by launch day. I think by launch day, obviously. But it's going to do ridiculous numbers, absolutely. Walt the Great, thank you for that. Super chat as well. Yeah, Sony's market is safe. LOL, this is crazy. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it seems like the Steam Machine was never intended to compete with consoles, which to me is very surprising because that seems to me like the most obvious route to go. But I mean, What are you gonna do? I don't know what the I think they're trying to target entry level PCs more than they're trying to target consoles. I think they should try to come up with a product that competes with consoles. I think the problem for Steam and Valve is that they don't want to get into that rat race of hardware to that extent. And I don't blame them. Like right now, if their business was majorly made up of hardware, whereas right now it's more of a side quest that they're doing, then yeah, they'd be in trouble, as all hardware manufacturers are right now. But they'd rather just focus on software sales and distribution. So there you go. If $1,000 is an entry-level PC, well, unfortunately, right now it seems like it is, unless you're buying used components. But when it was originally being built, because you got to remember, I mean, the Steam Machine probably, I think there were leaks of it 2.5, 3 years ago when they started working on it. So 3 years ago, this probably was nowhere close to $1,000. I don't think it was close to $1,000 3 years ago, but a lot has changed. So it just goes to show you, when you start an idea versus when you get to the launch period, things can look very, very different. Very, very different. Same thing with like video games. You know, I think they said they started Concord in 2018. And by the time it launched, I mean, when it launched, I think the idea of doing another high production value, like cinematic inspired Overwatch-like game probably was a great idea, and that probably made a lot of sense at that time. You fast forward 6 years to the point where you're launching it in 2024, and all of a sudden it doesn't make sense anymore. You know, like, just doesn't make sense. Let's see. Better way for the next Xbox or PlayStation 6. Yeah, I don't think this is going to win over console players. I don't think so. At 500, maybe people would have tried it. At 1,000, I don't think a lot of console players move over, or expand onto it. Fat Frap, thank you for the 10. What are your expectations for the next gen price wise if the current consoles are already $1,000? I think our best hope is that they tread water. Like maybe the lowest tier is going to be like $799. I think the next gen consoles may also do the thing where they'll have a SKU that doesn't have a controller. So like $799 for the PlayStation 6, or it's $849 with the controller bundle or something like that. They'll do something like that so that the headline is next gen console launches at this price, so it feels less than it actually is if you need the new controller. But I think that they'll do stuff like that. I think that they will try to have a low SKU and a high SKU. I think one of the big pushes is going to be new compression technologies and algorithms for games. So they'll launch with like 256 gigs of memory. You can expand it yourself with an NVMe SSD. But because they can compress games way more now, the average install size is like 12 gigs instead of 100 gigs. I think they'll do stuff like that to try and push it and save on memory, which is not a bad idea. I mean, if they can honestly get the massive leap in compression, that could help. Like, and this happens all the time. File size here, just to show you, like AV1 encoding versus H.264 is like night and day. So this is just a different way of encoding and compressing video files. But as you can see, like this is one example where they try a bunch of different strategies for compiling and compressing footage. But there are massive benefits. AV1 codec performance comparison example, 5 megabytes for approximate bandwidth, 1 million with this. Like basically for streaming, if you stream with AV1, there's a massive savings of bit rate if you use AV1 versus H.264 and versus H.265. So new technologies for compression can have similar levels of quality in the end product, but massive savings in terms of storage. And in the case of video game compression, I think similar technologies and breakthroughs will happen where like they'll come out with a new compression algorithm or strategy where like, oh, our games now, instead of being 100 gigs, we can compress it down to 15 gigs. And so you don't need as much storage. So you don't need the 1 terabyte model anymore. I think they'll do stuff like that because otherwise it's just ungodly expensive, but we'll see. Let's see. Gavin. Yes, I read that one. Gavin, Oh, but as for expectations for price, Fat Frap, I think right now I'm going 800 for the base model, and then they'll have higher variations that are like 1,000. That's my guess. Gavin, thank you for the 10. With the new Xbox reportedly having Steam in it, would it not just make more sense to get the new Xbox instead of the Steam machine at the cheaper price and more powerful overall? Well, there's been some like back and forth on this. Now it seems to be mainly rumors and suggestions that it will run Steam. I am curious if they end up doing that. I used to think, especially with Phil Spencer, I think the Slam Dunk, I think, well, not Slam Dunk. I think what it was going to be was basically just a PC that boots into a separate gaming mode. But if you wanted to launch it into Windows 11 mode, you could do that. I'm not sure that's what Asha wants. I'm not sure that's what Asha wants. She might just lock it down to the game mode, and she might lock it out of other platforms. Like, if her vision, honestly, is to try and get Xbox back to like the 360 era or even the original Xbox era, which is what she's signaling with a lot of the other more ceremonial things she's changing. All caps, bring back the Renegade Spirit taglines from the early 2000s, other stuff like the logo redesigns. She's signaling back to that era, and if she wants to go back to that era, that does not mean open platform. You know, like she's signaling a lot of stuff that makes me think she may not want to do things the way that Phil was going to do it, which honestly, you can't blame her. I mean, it's not like things have been going well. Okay. Like it's not like they were on the right track. I don't know what track they were on, but it wasn't headed in the right direction. You know, it's like, hey, we got to climb the mountain. Why are we going down? You know, that's kind of where they've been for like 5 years. So I know that there's been lots of rumors and even reports saying that, yeah, we've heard through the grapevine that they're going to allow you to play Steam on it or download Steam games on it. I'm not convinced at this point that that's what the final product will be. So I agree if the next gen Xbox ends up being a better value and run Steam games, yeah, get the better value box that runs Steam games. That makes more sense. But we don't know. We don't know if that's the case. So, is the mountain an Xbox too, Phil? Everything's a mountain. You're a mountain. We're all mountains. It's all part of it. So yeah, we just don't know. We just don't know when it's revealed and confirmed. I, never say never. That might be confirmed that that's what the vision is. But I, at least based on my vibes, it seems like Asha does not want to do things the way Phil was going to do them. And if that is the vision, what a picture. If that's the vision, then I just don't think that that's, I'd be surprised if she keeps going down that road. I'd be very surprised if that's the road they want to go down. So she seems to generally be moving away from Phil and Sarah's direction and where they wanted to go. And we'll see if that follows through with everything they're doing. We'll see. But thank you, Gavin, for the very generous super chat. Appreciate you. RPG Veteran, I would get a Steam controller and Steam OS on my PC. Yeah, and that's what they seem to be pushing for, is that they want to open it up as much as they can. Even by the end of this year, it's supposed to be much easier to go and do Steam OS stuff on your own builds. Let's see, Kinomansky, thank you for the 32 months. Oh, baby, almost 2K Canadian for a non-upgradable PC is so stupid. For $500 more, you can get a 5070 pre-build with 32 gigs of RAM and install a dual boot W11 Brazil and Brezat. I can't read. Bezite, I think, and upgrade later. I think overall, yes, you are absolutely correct. But this is not targeting, pretty clearly, it's not targeting people who want, for one, upgradability in that way. Like an SD card is one thing, but not swapping out parts. And this is targeting the people who have more dollars than cents when it comes to customization like that. Like, this is clearly being sold, and this is going to sell to the people that want to pay a ton extra for the convenience of the box. that they plug in the box and the box just works. They don't want to think about upgrading. They don't want to think about dual boots. They don't want to think about any of that stuff. They just want to plug it in and it works. And for those people, it probably does make sense. But if you're somebody that's capable of building a PC with dual boot, then yeah, you're looking at this and being like, what are we doing? Oh, Bazite, it's a Linux OS. Oh, I got you. I was trying to read it and then like all the layers were squishing together. I was like, panic. So anyway, but I agree. If you're one of those guys that's capable of doing that, this doesn't make a lick of sense. But this is not. Pretty clearly, it's not. It sounds bad, but it's not for you. Like they're clearly targeting the people that just want to throw money and have it work. That seems to be the target audience. The Chimaobi, maybe. Thank you for the super chat. So how much is the PlayStation 6 going to cost then? Like I said, I think it probably starts at $800 and then they'll have a premium variant like a Pro either at launch or a little bit later that's going to cross the $1,000 threshold. But I think part of the way they're going to get to 800 is with lower storage and possibly no controller in the box by default. I think that's stuff that they're investigating right now. Yeah. Okay, I read that one. I read those. Yeah, I see the ones I skipped now. That's crazy. Okay, I read that one. Okay. Yeah, super heavy into subscription services. I think they're going to do that too. Highlanders Grim, did you see any games coming this year pushed to 27? I think Fable will be delayed too. Yeah, Fable got delayed to February. I think there's going to be probably a couple of others that get scooched a little bit, but yeah, Fable's one that got pushed to early 2027. Yeah. I have to admit, it says Hamish with a 10. Thank you. I have to admit, I'm not price sensitive when it comes to the Steam machine. I applied for all 4 versions and will pick whenever I get, preferably the 2 terabyte one. I'm no whale. Please don't hate me. Well, like I said, this is targeting a very particular type of person who is maybe like not price sensitive and who wants the plug and play experience. And if that's you and you know what you're getting, who am I to tell you not to get that? Like, it's your right to spend your money where you want to spend it. But I think for the majority of people who are looking at it and were on the fence, like, oh, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. The price point, it's too much. Like, I think even at $800 plus, it was already getting, or even at $600 plus, it was getting to the point where a lot of people would shrug it off. At $1,000, it just doesn't work. And again, for them, it's just, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Prices are crazy high. They don't want to subsidize it. They want it to just sell as is. And I can't blame them for that. I wouldn't want to lose $500 million for no reason, like other than just selling more of them. Like it's just tough. It's just tough. But Melissa, thank you for 16 months. Luke, curious if we'll pre-order GTA on the 25th or will you wait? I will be honest, I have never understood the idea of pre-ordering a digital game 6 months in advance. 5 months in advance, whatever it is. I just don't understand why. I don't get why. Like, if you want to get the game preloaded, whatever, I get it. Why do it now instead of like the day before? But what if it sells out digitally? Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. Like if they had, for example, like a pre-order bonus that was like only the first 500,000 get it. I at least understand that. I don't like it, but like I would understand why people are rushing to pre-order. But like when it's just, you just give us your money now. I don't understand that. Frankly, I just don't get it. So no, I don't plan on pre-ordering it on the 25th. I just don't get it. I don't know why I would need to, but I guess some people want to just get it, set it aside, not have to think about it. I think there was a time in my life where maybe like if I got like birthday money in high school or something, and it was like, okay, I really want this game that's coming out in a few months. I'm going to pre-order it now so that I don't have to think about it and I will get it. And it's kind of like, I want to spend this money for that, so I'll give it now so I don't have to think about it. Maybe that's when I would do it, but I just don't see the reason now. You know, we get it for hype and hype alone. No other reason. Yeah, that's what it seems like, at least, which, you know what, do you, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why I would, but yeah. Obviously, it's still gonna get crazy pre-order numbers. I must be missing something because people do it like crazy, but I just don't understand it. Okay, I read that one. Nerdy Giant, thank you for that. 5. So it's kind of slow after Summer Games Fest, pretty normal. And is it Black Flag? That's the next big title. Yes, I believe so. That's the next big one, early July. And it's very normal. In case you don't know, a lot of studios go on like vacation after Summer Games Fest, because what's going to happen is after Summer Games Fest, they take a couple of weeks off through June. July, they go back to the office and they start frantically preparing for Gamescom in August. And then at late August, Gamescom hits, and then the fall is just crazy mad rush until you hit like late December, which is when people go on vacation again. So usually this is a little bit of a lull before crunch time. So very normal, very, very normal. A lot of people also go on vacations in July as well that work in the industry. It's very normal. Jordy Vision, thank you for the 5 as well. Hey Luke, would you rather a pirate game like a Souls-like, Crimson Desert, or KCD 2? Ooh, I'm going to say KCD 2. A super grounded, realistic pirate game with like immersive sim elements. I'd be so there for that. That'd be amazing. I'd be there for that. Squidsy, thank you for the membership as well. And then Loser Duck, thank you for the 10. Are you excited for No Law? I hope Neon Giant goes back and makes the Ascent 2 after. It's genuinely an amazing game. Yeah, dude, the Ascent is really, really good. And I would be okay with that. And yes, I'm keeping an eye on it. I think that one's going to be really, really cool. Okay. I want to show you guys this. So, new mini segment thing. So, GTA 6, of course, is coming, and it's generating a lot of discourse, a lot of, dare I say, hype. I said it. I said the word. I did it. Cancel me. I don't care. But a lot of people are talking about it, but inevitably there's going to be some people who are like, looks bad. Because of course there are. There's going to be some people who look at this and are like, looks like a PS3 game to me. And we've already started to see that with some of the like artwork reveals and stuff. People being like, I don't know. I can see that there's some buildings you can't go into. I've seen that there's some stuff that that looks like a video game running on a 2020 piece of hardware. I'm not that impressed, you know? And there's people being like, I can see clipping. I can see that there's a moment where somebody's shoe clips into some of the models over there, or this lighting artifact happens. And like, they're just describing a video game, but they're freaking out. But I saw this and I just wanted to show it because I find it remarkable. Because I've heard people, and I think a lot of them are trolling, okay? This is a great example of Poe's Law. If you don't know Poe's Law is like a law of the internet, which is that you reach a point where you cannot tell the difference between parody and an extremist view because they're basically the same. So you can't tell if somebody's being serious or if they're just a troll because they look the same. And I think that's happened a lot with like the GTA 6 discourse of people being like, looks bad, looks like last gen or whatever. Doesn't look that upgraded. There's definitely trolling going on here, but there are some people who are just shockingly stupid, okay? Like there are some people out there who just say things and you're like, you're allowed to drive a car. I'm amazed, you know? And those are the people that I want to reference here. Because I found this clip posted by John. I don't know who originally edited it. It looks like GU1 Gulmaz, I don't know. But he edited together a staging of different scenes that we see in the trailer for GTA 6 and compared it to staging using using GTA 5's tool set to just put them side by side to show like roughly what you could see in the original game, the last GTA game, and compare it to what you see just casually in the footage for GTA 6 and stuff. One of the most immediate things, like obviously, it's the small details, but when you see it side by side, it really paints the clear picture. Even little things like the muscles tensing in the tricep as he starts walking and pushing through. That's insane. Dude, he's got arm hair that's like realistically rendered as he's driving around. All of these touches are just absolutely insane. The coins shifting in the drawer as he pulls it out of the cash register. Like, there's so many little things and little touches, and that's where Rockstar tends to really excel, is in the fine details. But when you see this side by side, you can start to see, like, GTA 5 is not a bad looking game. It never was. And it's aged, honestly, quite well for being a 2013 video game. But when you see these side by side shots recreating similar camera angles and structure, I mean, it really paints the picture clearly how much of a massive leap this is. You gotta love Trevor. Or maybe this is Cassini game. I don't know. There's multiple watermarks on it. Who knows who the original creator is? Unfortunately, stuff gets taken and stolen every which way nowadays. But there's just a lot of these kinds of discussions going on. For example, like this one. This guy, Tani, says, flying tree in new Vice City teaser? Big red arrows pointed. It's like, bro, the nitpicking is unbelievable. Unbelievable. What are we doing? This is crazy. And, you know, Nick Tech points out, if you zoom in on the actual footage that Rockstar released, you can see a faint line that shows the tree isn't floating. It's futile to judge the game's quality based on a low bitrate video. And then again, LOD exists for a reason. And you shouldn't expect current gen consoles to be capable of rendering every possible object at far distance like Ferris wheel reflections. I mean, you could see it depending on the compression level. It's just, we're at a point where like the nitpicking is insane. And you better believe it. At launch, there's going to be a lot of this. It's going to be insane. But nitpicking graphics is one element that's a headache. But I did not realize, I mean, I've heard posts and read posts from people that had unrealistic expectations for like GTA 6. And, you know, they're silly. Like, there was one I remember hearing years ago, like 2-3 years ago, of somebody being like, yeah, GTA 6 is going to have a, what's it called? Alimony system. And like, you can have children with characters in the game. And this is, I think, before the first trailers dropped, but they were like a breaking news leak. You can have children with characters in the game. And then you can go to the court and you have to hire lawyers, and then you fight for custody, or if you don't want custody, you have to pay alimony, and it's an in-game system. There were other people saying like, oh, there's actually going to be a CCTV system where the police are using CCTV cameras placed throughout the map to track you. So in order to escape cops, you have to track and understand the layout of CCTV cameras all over the place. And it like starts to get crazy. Other claims, like you're going to be able to go into every single building in every single condo, every single apartment in every building within the game across the board. Claims that, like, you know, when you are driving, your tires realistically deplete the rubber on it. So you have to get tire replacements depending on how much you drive and the gravel that you drive on, whether you're off-roading, all that. And stuff that just starts to get crazy. Like, people are just saying, I think this would be crazy. And then they assert it, and somebody says, confirmed leak, my dad works at Xbox. And then it starts spreading. And dude, there are 12-year-olds who believe every word of it. They believe every single word of it. And then they're seeing these trailers, they're seeing stuff starting to be revealed about GTA 6, and they're acting like they're disappointed because it doesn't have an alimony system. You know, like, it starts to get absolutely crazy. Yeah, they see the bisexual lighting and lose their minds. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I was gonna do a full like breakdown of that, but then it started, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think we're dealing with somebody who has all the cards in the deck, you know. It started to feel bad, so we just skipped past it. But yeah, that one was unbelievable. Totally serious, by the way. Absolutely heartbreaking. But that's another one of those cases where you're like, bro, these people can drive. Oh my God. But look at this. So Synth said, kind of a breakdown. These are direct responses to claims and frustrations that people expressed that they had. GTA 6 is not going to be a life simulator that allows you to enter every interior and make relationships with every NPC while taking on everyday jobs and tasks in the biggest map in gaming history, with 500 hours long story that lets you roleplay as anyone and make story choices in every conversation that also is somehow playable in co-op. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of people who still think it's going to be multiplayer in the story mode. I think, honestly, part of the confusion with this has come from the massive level of like GTA roleplay servers that found a ton of success like 4 or 5 years ago that really blew up the game to another level. And so there are people whose only real exposure to GTA was in roleplay servers during lockdowns and stuff. And so that's all they've ever known. And they think that that is what GTA is. They think GTA is roleplay servers that you play with like streamers, and you each work as like a cop, you work as an ambulance driver, you work in a bank. Like they think it's going to be Roblox mixed with GTA roleplay, and they think that's what the game is. That they don't have an understanding that no, that's not how this works. Maybe eventually it gets there with like additional mods and modes and stuff added, but that's just not how this works, you know? I think there will be GTA 6 online roleplay modes. That will be a thing, but I don't think at launch. It's certainly not in the story mode. That's not what it's going to be. But that's part of what's leading to these confused expectations, is that there's younger people who have never experienced the original and think that those GTA roleplay servers are what the game is, and it's just not. GTA 6 will actually most likely be, quote, a stellar 30 to 50 hour cinematic main story campaign focused on Jason and Lucia, plus their supporting cast. Yes, Rockstar's very good at cinematic storytelling. Red Dead 2 was I think longer, for one, because they're telling a vast story. They have a massive epilogue as well. It also, in terms of gameplay, was a much more slow and methodical game. And I think it did a very good job of immersing you with Arthur to the point where you would really take your time and like go out hunting and go out exploring. And of course, because it's on horseback, getting between objectives takes a little bit longer than if you're just taking a car driving through, city streets or fields. So I think that also, made the runtime a little bit longer. But yeah, probably somewhere in the range of like 50 hours, I would say is a fair bet. Quote, it's very likely that the game will have a ton of interiors, far more than any previous GTA game going off the old leaks, but not every building and apartment is enterable. This is grossly unrealistic to expect. The 3D interiors in Windows is simply a graphical effect like in Insomniac's Spider-Man. Yes, and I don't even understand what the purpose of that would be. Like, you want dev time to be spent rearranging furniture inside every condo and apartment? Like, what are we doing? Why would that make the game better? I don't understand. A map likely bigger than GTA 5, but not country-sized. It will be Vice City and smaller towns surrounding it, various biomes in the countryside, swamps, forests, mountains. We've already had Rockstar list out all the major locations. A good point of comparison is imagine bigger Los Santos City with Red Dead 2 level countryside outside of it. Exactly. I think that's fair to assume. It's, again, this is partially added on by years and years of unrealistic expectations. And then also there were original leaks when the game was originally being designed that the original plan was to basically give you the full coast. So you're going to have like Florida, the Florida Keys, and then they're going to let you go down to the Caribbean, and there'd be missions where you're like literally going and smuggling drugs and stuff across islands, sailing and either driving ships and the like, or flying over vast swaths of ocean as you travel between them. And eventually that was cut down into what the map is today. But that's also partially why I think that these expectations are crazy, because there's people that heard those leaks and then extrapolated, oh, we'll be able to fly from basically the border of Florida and Georgia all the way down into like the Bahamas, and that's what they're expecting, when that's just not what it's going to be. Some people genuinely believe you'll be able to get into relationships with any NPC. This is extremely unlikely and improbable. Jason and Lucia are the canon couple. And I mean, again, it just goes to show you, they're looking at it. It starts to make sense why people have these crazy expectations when you look at it through the lens of GTA roleplay and people thinking, oh, truly next generation Rockstar unlimited budget GTA roleplay. That's what they're expecting. And that's just not what it is. These are people that a lot of them have not played like Red Dead 2. If you play Red Dead 2 and you think, okay, we'll just apply these learnings to GTA, it makes sense. You can see where they're going with it. But if you think of it just as the ultimate life sim game, you can understand why people start to just spin and spin. You won't be role-playing as different people. Again, this isn't an RPG. I believe Greet/Antagonize will return and be expanded from Red Dead 2, allowing us to speak to any NPC, but don't expect it to affect the story in some way. This is Jason and Lucia's story. Story mode is single player. There is no co-op playing as Jason and Lucia. Online mode is its own thing, just like in GTA 5. It is also important to note that online likely won't be available on November 19th, but instead launches a month or 2 weeks after the single player, as it was with Red Dead 2 and GTA 5. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even later than that. It could launch just a month later. It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if they wait until early 27 to launch it as its own standalone thing. That's just my expectation. Because there's also, this is something I hadn't really thought of, but an industry analyst I saw a clip of on a finance show, he brought this up when talking about Take-Two Interactive. He said he thought they were going to stagger online mode significantly by like a month or two, because he expects there to be effectively a run on the banks with console hardware, which is basically that they will sell out of PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series consoles, and like they will sell out of consoles probably close to globally in the like run up to GTA 6's launch in November. And if you then do the online launch like 2 weeks to a month after, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't interested in the story mode that want to play online. And those people will not be able to play unless they can get consoles. And so 2 weeks for restock, probably not enough time. A month or two, probably enough time to restock a decent amount. So he thinks they're going to delay it significantly and delay it by like a month or two. For people who expect and want to have this infinitely long experience of thousands of hours taking on odd jobs and role playing, I'm sure GT Online will have a lot of that covered. Yes, but this is the big distinction, is that there are people who don't understand the distinction, which is why like we do that here. We do that here. These are different things. Okay. GTA 6, the story mode, just like Red Dead 2, it is a different thing than the online component. It's a different product entirely. And it's being treated differently, and it's being designed differently. And so things that you're able to do in the online mode, you will not be able to do here, and vice versa. But it's important to understand that like just because GTA 6, the story mode, does not have X, Y, and Z that you can do on online, that does not mean therefore that the game sucks, or that they lied to you because you watched some YouTuber back in 2014 say that he had GTA 6 early and these are all the crazy features, even though he totally can't show you. You know, like I think that there will be people who are going to scream and holler about how they're disappointed, or they're going to buy it, boot it up, and it's not going to be online, and they're going to be thoroughly confused because they're in some Discord server that has no idea what they're talking about. And is saying that this is just going to be like the ultimate RP experience. That's just not how it works. So I think the best way to deal with it is to be just very, very clear and upfront with people so that they understand what it is and what it isn't. But to a certain extent, it almost doesn't matter. You know, GTA and Rockstar in general, they're kind of big enough to just do what they're going to do and leave it there. Like, you know, there's going to be some people complaining about like online not launching on launch day. And there's going to be plenty more people to make fun of them. You know, yeah, those old clickbait videos from 2014, good times. I kind of want to go back and look at some of them and see some of the insane stuff that they were saying. But yeah, I think it's going to be remarkable. It's going to be great, but there's inevitably going to be people who just have a fundamental, a false expectation with it because they just don't, they are not interested in what's actually true. They're more interested in what sounds cool. And so they hear somebody say, I think you can romance anybody and have children and then go to court and have to pay alimony. They hear that and they think, ooh, that sounds cool. It never goes through the process of like, is that reasonable? Would that even make sense? Why would they do that? How is that fun? What's the evidence for that claim? It never passes through that checkpoint. It just starts and stops with, does that sound cool? And leaves it there. You know, that's full stop. So I am excited to see the discourse when it drops, because I think it's going to be thoroughly entertaining, and it will, I think, certainly reveal who's like actually who's being genuine with stuff, you know, because I think that there's going to be a lot of I think rage bait as well. You know, there's going to be a lot of that, a little bit of trolling, because people love a little bit of trolling. There's going to be some of that stuff, inevitably. That's just par for the course. But either way, we will talk about it and have a good time with it, because there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. So there you go. Okay. I can close my GTA rage bait pages. Finally. Yes. I can't read.
Nerve Derivative, I think. Yes. If you guys missed the story, it's very sad. It's very sad. This is from a few days ago. But it's where's the article? I think no, this one doesn't have a picture. I want to show a picture. Yeah, if you missed it, it happened a couple of days ago. So while we weren't here, but no, you're gonna force me to turn off ad block to look at this. That's cringe. Yes, one of the co-founders of Ubisoft, one of the Guillemot brothers, Claude, 69 years old. He co-founded the studio back in the mid 80s, and I don't think he's actually been super involved for a while, but he was working or he was doing, it sounds like a training mission, a training flight in France with an instructor, and then some issue happened. I don't think they've announced or revealed what the issue was or if they even know, but there was some issue and the plane crashed and killed both Claude and the flight instructor. I believe it was just the two in the plane. Yeah, 2 people on board. It's just tragic. No matter which way you look at it, it's just tragic. It banked and crashed. That's all they seemingly have. Is that it banked and crashed. It's really, really tragic, but it goes to show you how fragile life is. You just can't take any day for granted, my friends. Doesn't matter who you are, how powerful, wealthy, whatever, like it can all end in a flash. It's very, very sad, very tragic. So thoughts and prayers with him and his family. That's tragic no matter which way you look at it. It's just wild. It feels, I know it's probably not the case, like in terms of the data. It feels like there's so many more aviation related disasters and issues in recent memory. I know it's probably just like recency bias and stuff, but it feels like there's just so much happening. Like, what does banked mean? It means like basic planes flying and then it starts to bank heavily and then it just flops over and crashes. And there's many reasons that type of thing can happen. I mean, it could be a hardware failure on the plane. It could be instruments. It could be a combination of everything. It could be user error. I mean, you just never, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It could be many, many things, but yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely wild, but yeah, much love, thoughts and prayers to, his family and friends. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. I can only imagine like losing some of my family that way. It was heartbreaking. Not to be a Debbie Downer. We should try to reset. Let's see. What is something we can look at that would be less sad and tragic? Do I have something? I'm trying to find, do I have something funny? Something that will make us not sad? Or something not sad? I'm trying hard. Here, AI Slop. Does he read Twitch? Asks Jax on Twitch. No. These videos don't help, by the way. These videos really do not help. We look at Todd. Yeah, this is like GTA slop channel that made an AI generated video of a fast food restaurant allegedly in GTA 6. They're proponing food. Fill your pork hole. Okay. And so there's that. And like these are the types of videos people are looking at and getting, like, they're running with. And it's always framed as, what if GTA 6 actually lets us wait for our burger order to be prepared instead of instantly handing it to us? It's literally the Eric Cartman, I'm just asking questions.
Like, that's literally what they're. I didn't say this was in the game. I didn't say this was real gameplay. I'm just asking questions. Maybe we can wait for our job application to be reviewed too. The old GTA used to be able to order food. You don't have to wait for it, but it's an effing video game, not real life. It's accounts like these that should be blocked and reported. Like, holy shit, I'm so over engagement baiting on this bitch app. Like, but there are people who see this and think that this is an actual gameplay screenshot. And when it's not in the game, they'll crash and burn. They'll crash out, dude. Like, it's just, the community notes help because you can tag it, but by that point, it's already been seen 3 million times. Like, the community note's not even officially on the post yet. So there's still people that think this is like, oh, this is from the leak. This is from the leak. So it's got to be real. And it's just not. Oh, Todd mentioned Blade. Todd Howard said, I'm not at liberty to say when we'll see more of Blade, but I saw some stuff just yesterday on May 21st, and the folks at Arcane Studios are doing a really great job. So in May, he said they were doing a great job. And it sounds like in the last 3 weeks is when they were seriously being considered for closure or restructuring. I wouldn't read much into that. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. Yeah, in May he said it looked great. This is also, I'm sorry, I hate to be that guy. People were saying the same thing where like somebody said that they saw Elder Scrolls 6, Matt Booty. It was Matt Booty. Matt Booty's like, yeah, I've been to Bethesda Game Studios and I've seen Elder Scrolls 6 running and it looks great. People are like, wow, so it's going to be great. I'm like, guys, he's the head of Xbox Studios. Like, do you think he's going to say it looks bad? Like, I think it could be great. It could be amazing. But are you like, is that really the evidence we're running with? Is like the guy that has a vested interest in this being amazing says he thinks it's amazing. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's like saying, well, the car salesman told me this was a good deal. It's like, okay, cool. Why would I care? Like, it doesn't apply. Like, what are you talking about? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. You know? Just stupid. And for this, it's like, yeah, it's somebody within the Xbox org saying, yeah, they're doing a really good job. They might be, but this isn't evidence supporting that. Like, it's not unbiased evidence. It's like somebody's accused of a crime and then their mother says, no, they would never. It's like, yeah, I'm sure she would say that. That's why you wouldn't, that wouldn't go on stand. You know, you wouldn't rely on that. It's just silly. Anyway. Let's see. Where else do we want to go? Okay. I'll close. I can close that. We're good there. Also, I wanted to show you guys this. Hyped for Don Salieri Mafia DLC. I also am very, very excited for the Mafia DLC. I'm very excited for that. I don't know how we'll cover it or if I'll make footage or if it'll just be for me, but yeah, I'm excited for that too. Very excited for that. Any news on Phantom Blade? Not yet. I'm hoping they start dropping stuff soon though, because like, oh baby, I'm excited. I need more. Reddit list also, thank you for the sub over on Twitch, my friend. Thank you. Luke said the word amazing, so it's gotta be true. Luke, I hate to be that guy Stevens. The nicknames grow. I'm Hawkeye. Thank you for the membership, by the way. Thank you. Okay, this clip has been going around. New mini segment thing. This clip has been going around and making the rounds again. It is from 2018, but this is paired with some breaking news that came out of some interviews. That Deborah Ann Wool, who is the original or the actress for Faye, she did this interview talking about the process, and what she basically said was, quote, "Oh my God, I can't tell you. I still pinch myself. You know, again, I've known about this for nearly 10 years, this game, Laufey, and have been able to talk about it. He pitched it, he being Cory Barlog, he pitched it to me in 2018. They had known about it before then. It's wild. Like when Cory brought me in to talk about doing Ragnarok and showed me the 2018 game, he had already had a poster for the Laufey game with me and the cube. a cube that's been there since the beginning. It's deeply part of the lore. It's apparently like pretty integral. And this is something I've been telling you guys. Like, I've heard rumblings and I've seen the interview clips and everything. It doesn't take a genius to put these things together, but this like most of God of War Laufey was written out and built out when they did 2018. Like most of this has been in the works since like for a decade, which is crazy to think, but that's what we're dealing with. This is a clip from 2018.
Shut up, Corey. All right.
Obviously, you're saying you have sort of the forward of what comes next. You have that what that image means in mind. Did you have everything before the game of like how long this is after the last God of War journey we've seen? Like how much older Kratos
how long
is
this after?
So asking God of War 2018, how long is this since the last one? Like what happened between, right?
The last game.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Anyway.
We've been pretty specific throughout all of the development of God of War to not commit to a date or any time periods. For me, I wanted an expanse of time from 3 to explore the rock bottom of Kratos, right? So that what happened before this is a really cool story, something that I've sort of laid the beats out for, but something we're not really talking about today. So that when you kind of see that story as it folds into him arriving in Scandinavia and meeting Faye, all of that is a really awesome story. But for me, a lot of people say, why didn't you tell that story? And it's chronologically it fits beforehand, but it is way more interesting to look back on that when you find out her power and control. If you find out who she is and you find out all that information,
She being Faye, like
first, this story doesn't work as well, right? This reveal and this sort of bonding between these two characters. But now, looking back on how he got there, that to me is far more interesting because now you feel like you totally understand everything, but you don't.
Can you make a game where she's the protagonist, though?
Can you say that could be amazing?
that could be amazing. Like anybody, this is how you can tell like the people that actually like follow this and people that don't. Okay, there are people that are trying to say that all of this, because if somehow you're not aware, Corey is in charge of I think he's like head of creative at Santa Monica Studio. It's a title like that, like big picture broad stuff, right? He's not the game director on God of War Laufey. He wasn't the game director on Ragnarok. He game directed 2018, and then he was creative director on Ragnarok. And so there's people that were like, oh, it's a new team, a new development team, new director team that are responsible for Laufey. That's why these things are happening and blah, blah, blah. They're going off on it. But it's like, no, you don't get to do that because it's very clear. These things were set up a decade ago. And they were set up by the guy, okay? The man. So if you're going to try to frame the narrative as like Corey is the guy and the things Corey's doing are great, but then also you don't like Laufey, it's like, well, you can't really separate the two. I mean, they seem like pretty clearly they were developed and built around the same time. Like all of these pieces were laid out. And I will just say this again. There are many things that were thought to be like plot holes or unresolved issues or this and that or this and that. And they will be answered in Laufey. Like all of these things, people point to like who blew the horn and stuff like that. But there's many, 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 many things in the game that, and in 2018 and in Ragnarok, where you might have questions or there might be like, I wonder how that works. Where those things are going to intertwine again, where this thread is going to come back in here. It's going to, I think, blow some minds. There's going to be a lot of things like that where it's just like, whoa. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of those moments. And I'm excited to see them. It's going to be very, very cool. But, that's one aspect of it. There still can be other pieces, and I want to be fair about this. People bringing up, for example, concerns over dialogue with like between the talking sword and the cube, Frank, like concerns over that. Companion dialogue in Sony first party games has been a frustration of mine as well. Totally agree. There's a way to do it where it's not super annoying, and then there's times where it can be super annoying. And some games, it's occasionally annoying, but for the vast majority of the time, it's fine, or even builds and adds to the experience. Other times, it goes too far and it's super annoying. It just depends. Like, there's a spectrum, as it were, of these things. Like in God of War Ragnarok, even. I love Ragnarok. It's phenomenal. But even then, there's the memes that have been developed over like Atreus solving puzzles for people because he never shuts up. They later patched that and changed it because it was like such a problem. So there's times where, like, you know, in that case, it was at occasional moments where it was really, really annoying, but they fixed it and addressed it. So I'd like to think that they learned those lessons and tweaked it here too. But if you're like, yeah, the game looks cool, yeah, that's cool, but I'm worried that the talking sword is going to get annoying or the talking cube is going to get annoying, I think that's a valid concern to have. That's totally fine. I'm not saying there's any problem with that. That's totally, I mean, that's a fair frustration. Do I think, therefore, because you're like, I want to see more of the cube and see if it's going to be annoying, I don't think you can or go from there and then conclude, so the game is garbage. Like, I think that's silly, certainly, but you're allowed to have concerns or things that you like or don't like in a trailer, and that doesn't mean that you're a tourist. That doesn't mean that you're like a bad person or a fake gamer. I've seen some people trying to dismiss any sort of concern with any game as though that's totally unfair and unreasonable, and that's also equally silly as dismissing something out of hand when we barely know anything about it. But I think that broad strokes, the important bits are that God of War Laufey clearly has been designed and built as part of the trilogy. It's part of God of War 2018 going into Ragnarok, and then it's going to be the game that ties all of this stuff together in a nice clean bow. And it was something that was ideated a decade ago, laid out a decade ago, and was developed with those games in tandem and in parallel, even at times, at least narratively. And so I'm very excited to see when it comes and to see how it ties together. I'm very giddy and excited, and I'm still, you know, hesitant with many things where it's like I want to know about, you know, the dialogue, how they balance those things out, because certainly a great game can be ruined by some really cringy dialogue very, very quickly. But I haven't seen anything that I'm like particularly perturbed by or anything. But I do think it's really exciting to see just how many of these pieces seem to have been laid out, how many of these breadcrumbs were laid out in advance, and how we're going to come back and go full circle with them. It's, I think, going to be really, really cool. I am Big Texas. Thank you for the membership, my friend. Dude, Big Tex. If you guys don't know Big Tex, this is the most Texas thing ever. I grew up going, when we lived in Texas, of course, I grew up going to the Texas State Fair. Texas State Fair. It's a great time. And at the Texas State Fair, there's Big Tex. Oh my God. Just show me the picture. There's Big Tex. He's a massive statue that is there for some reason and just kind of stands there waving at people. It's weird. I get it. It's weird. But hey, it's Big Tex. Show some damn respect, okay? That's Big Tex. That's a Big Tex. You're damn right. Damn right. Well, Big Tex burned down in a fire. This was a while back. This was back in 2012. This was the year after we moved out of Texas. Oh, was it? Or did we move back? This is a throwback. No, we moved back 2012. So I think we were either about to leave Texas or had just left Texas when this happened. But we weren't there this year, as far as I remember. I don't remember seeing the burning. Maybe I don't know. It's traumatic. I blocked it out. But he caught fire and burned down. They did rebuild him. It's kind of hard to tell by scale, but the dude's like 50 feet tall, 60 feet tall. But yeah, he burned down. I don't know if they ever figured out why he burned down. I should ask my mom what happened with all that. Yeah, this kind of gives you an idea. Low-key horrifying. And apparently while he was like burning, his voice box was still going off, and so he's still with massive speakers being like, "Welcome to the state fair," and as he's doing it, the speaker starts melting, and so it's like, "Welcome to the state fair." Like, it was apparently really traumatic. So yeah, this is what's left, or what was left. They rebuilt him though. He's fine now. He's fine now. They had to like completely remake everything because I think his hands were salvageable. Oh, dude, that's that's pretty good. The bumper sticker, never forget. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've never seen that before. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I see big text in chat. I'm like, oh, that takes me back. That takes me back. Yeah, yeah. I agree with people's concerns, but I think the new God of War will far outweigh the bad. Well, yeah, I think again, it's if you have the broad like offering, you have a pie. The pie is God of War Laufey. And you're like, looks amazing, smells amazing. Oh, that's great. But the sprinkles on top of one of the slices, a little stale. Does that mean I'm throwing the pie out? No, bitch. I'm eating the pie. I'm eating the pie. You know, so if there's something comparatively small, I'm not that concerned. Not that concerned, you know? That's cute. That's cute. You can talk. Luke, did you watch the D-Brand Steam Machine trailer? No, is it funny? D-Brand Steam Machine. Oh, that's funny.
This is appreciated.
And for those of you who are lucky enough to remain on this winning team,
look at it.
I am sure this overpriced plastic trinket will fill the gaping void in your meaningless, finite life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an eternity of work to do.
that concludes this presentation. Go buy one of those D-Brand companion cube things and slap it on your Steam machine. Maybe play a game or two. You won't regret it. Or at least you won't live long enough to. Dave Johnson, we're done here.
That's pretty fire. Unique skin for the controller, and then it actually lights up. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's fun. That's fun. I'll give him that. That's fun. That's a good idea. Also, I should mention this. This also was shown off. New mini segment thing. So if you don't know the guy, well, I should say it this way. Back up. Destiny 2. Not doing great. It's apparently not. Might not be around forever. It's kind of in a rough spot. Unfortunately. But there's been a concerted effort from a lot of people to try and generate some hype for it again, to kind of show Sony, what are we doing? Because if you don't know, Marathon, for example, they just had a free weekend. They brought in a bunch of people to play the game for free because it's, of course, a premium priced game. So if you don't do that, you can see that gave a little bump. Free weekend helped a little bit, but now it's continuing to just not do as great as they would have hoped, for sure. 24-hour peak of about 10,000. But this is the game that Bungie is putting all of their resources in. But in the same time, Destiny 2 is chilling. 24-hour peaks over 100,000. And this is players going back after the final update. You can see when the final update drops. Huge spike of support. Tons of people showing up to play it and let Sony know, we want this game. We want this game. Focus on this game. Help us with this game. Well, one of the guys that is known for being a diehard Destiny fan and that is involved in the media side of the industry is Paul Tassi, who works with Forbes. And he put up a video where he shared some of the results of those efforts to push and let Sony know, we want Destiny 2 supported, new content, Make Destiny 3, whatever you got to do. That's what we want. Well, he's talked to some sources to find out if it's worked. This is what he said.
If you lay off all of the Destiny team, or, if you don't lay them off and just move
It's a little
them,
quiet.
there is no one to continue Destiny 2 content and no one to start making Destiny 3. Even in the wake of this well-performing update, I asked by sources, like, is there anything that this has done to, like, kind of move the needle, to change things based on, like, how well this has been received, like how many people are playing. Destiny's been third in, like, Steam revenue for pretty much a week. I think it dropped a little today. Like, is there anything, that has changed? And the one word answer I got back is no.
So there you go. The news is that there is no news. The answer is no. And I mean, again, we can make the knee-jerk immediate reaction and just be like, this is insane. You have literally 10 times the player count on Destiny that you do with Marathon, and you're killing Destiny for Marathon, seemingly. Like, they're going to get rid of the Destiny 2 team. All the resources left over are going to be for Marathon. What are we doing? Like, clearly the data would suggest that there's more interest in there's more interest in Destiny than there is interest in Marathon. What's happening? So why are we doing it this way? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? How does this work? And I think Marathon is pretty solid, but Marathon is it's a niche game. Destiny is a mass market game. So what are we doing? But I think that that's precisely the point. So for Sony, where they're looking at it is that to make Destiny 3, they'd have to spend $500 million, which is a tough sell. It's a tough sell. As Edad Dre, I think, says in chat, shocker, Sony does not want to greenlight a $500 million game, even though Destiny 2 had 3 good days. Well, and this is the unfortunate thing. And I love Destiny players. I feel for you guys, honestly. I can only imagine if I spent like 3,000 hours in a game to have it end like this. And like, I know it's not getting shut down or anything. It's just not being supported. This would suck. I feel you after all this time. But the same team that has basically ruined Destiny would be the ones in charge of making Destiny 3. Okay. So we can look at this and be like, yes, this is great. But Destiny has been in financial trouble for a while, for a good long while. And the chart is not that forgiving. I mean, as you can see, it's just been on a downward trend and getting worse and worse and worse as the years tick by. What makes you think that them doing a $500 million game would work? Why do you think that would work? I don't see it. And the other piece is, and this is just like another strategic consideration for Sony. When Sony bought out Bungie had a team of executives and senior designers and directors that each had been given compensation packages that gave them a stake in the company. Maybe it was like, 1/10 of 1% or something, but it was a stake. They had shares. And even though the company, was not sold yet, that would eventually be vested and they would reap the benefits of it. What happened is when Sony bought them out with certain time horizons laid out. So for example, if you are like a director on Destiny and Sony really wants to keep you at the studio after they buy it out, how do they keep you there? They say you only get paid for your shares. You only get your chunk of the change for it if you are here on this date. If you stay through June or July of 2026, if you stay through there, then you get your last vestment. So we kept you for a few years so you could help build out Marathon, our next massive successful game. And so they've done that with a bunch of the directors, a bunch of the original staff and stuff like that. But my understanding is that at the end of this month, 2026 is when the last big tranche of those payouts and stock options are vested, and those people can bail with millions. because when they were bought for 3.6 billion, even if you only owned a little sliver, that could still be worth millions. So there's a bunch of the senior directors that built out Destiny 2 and the original Destiny who are about to get their retirement package in like 2 weeks. They're probably retiring and leaving before starting another 10-year project of making Destiny 3. I know we all can say do it for the love of the game, but bro, if you were handed $3 million at late 40s, early 50s, would you keep grinding out AAA game development, or would you just go off, invest the money, take out 5%, 6%, and relax? Like, I think a lot of people might leave and just go chill, or go start a new studio where you don't have to deal with Hermen Hulst, like, which some of them no doubt will. Like, but I can't say I blame them for wanting to get out of Dodge with your fat stack and call it good. And so for Sony, they're like, we can greenlight a $500 million project, but it's going to be led by a lot of juniors. It's going to be led by a lot of people who have not made a game like this before. It's not going to be the same team that did it before. We don't have the same talent that we did before. They've literally left, or they're about to leave. So why would we give them a $500 million check? You know? And I can't say I mean, I understand it. I can't say I blame the directors for wanting to leave and chill and retire or go start another venture that they're in control of. That makes sense. I totally get that. And for Sony, I get why they'd be hesitant after all this time to give them more money. Like, I get it. We're looking at it and saying, why, when Destiny is at these numbers, why are we putting our eggs in this basket with smaller numbers? And I think it's just mainly that there's a team that exists at Bungie that has been built to make Marathon, and they feel like they have a place where they can grow and expand and they can do more. For Destiny, they've kind of played out their whole playbook. I mean, it's easy to say, just make Destiny 3. Just make Destiny 3. Just do that. That is a lot easier said than done. And even with all of this said, let's say you could keep the talent. Let's say you could keep the directors that know what they're doing. Let's say you could keep all this stuff. You're still going to have to wait 5, 6, 7 years before it's done. You know, like, it's just not that easy. It's not that easy. So I feel for the Destiny fans who are frustrated and perturbed and have shown up to try and show some love and send the game off right. And clearly they've achieved a unification of the audience that's remarkable. But even if this were successful, you're not going to get it for 5 to 6 years. You're not getting it until the 2030s. Good news. Talk to you in 2031. You know, there's just, again, it's just a sucky situation across the board because they should have never gotten to this spot. This type of thing should never happen. Like, this is from years and years and years of mismanagement and of missed deadlines and targets and stuff. And it just sucks that this is how the story ends, but there's not really a good alternative. Like, what else do you do?
At donated $19.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you.
I was thinking BGS and Asha trying to expedite things, and you said, do we really want a rushed Fallout game? But I might bring a counterpoint that Vegas was really rushed and ended up being the better game. BGS
might need to crunch. I was thinking of doing a video on it, but I got reached out to by a developer at a major studio who has to remain anonymous because he was like, what I'm about to tell you is very unpopular in my circles. Which will make sense in a second. But basically, he's a developer that works at a big studio you know of, that you've heard of, that makes games you're very familiar with. But he was like, I personally believe that crunch is mandatory in the game sphere. He's like, I think that you need crunch to like directly correlate, or that crunch directly correlates to creative ideas flowing, because you don't have time to like question your decisions. You don't have time to redo this and that, because you've got to find a way to make it work. He's like, some of the best games we, as a studio, again, I'll keep it vague, but he said some of the best games we've ever made were made under extreme crunch when we didn't have time to question ourselves. It's like, as we've done a lot of slower paced work and work from home, yes, it's true that it's more relaxed and chill here, but I feel like it's portrayed in the games. Like, the games don't actually have the same edge to them that they once did, because everything's just really chill. And I actually, it got me thinking. I was like, actually, I think I could see that. Like, I think when you are comfortable, there's an edge that's lost on your work. And so I could see that. I could see it. But I thought it was very, very interesting to hear a developer who's like, my work-life balance suffers if what I'm saying is true. But I personally think that crunch is like good for the end product, you know? Hello. You're bored?
I don't want to clean and I'm bored.
Nikki says she's bored.
I don't want to clean.
Here. Oh, I have a science experiment for Nikki. Okay. Don't read any screen. Don't read any text on screen. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do an asparagus. Okay. We're gonna perform an asparagus. New mini segment. Okay. So if you guys missed it, they dropped a 6-hour loop of the Halo main menu showing the ring. Okay. This kickstarted a massive discussion, I'll say, on social media. Okay. Call me asparaguses. Yeah. So this is what they shared, Nikki. This is the remake. This is the new variant of it. Okay. I want you to look at it. This is from Halo. This is the ring. It's yeah.
Halo.
One ring to control them all.
A halo.
To rule them all. A halo, if you will. I want you to look at this, and what I'm asking you to look at is the design. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got to keep it vague. Yeah, discussion. That's all I'm saying. Oh, keep it vague. We're doing an experiment.
Okay.
So this is the design.
Yeah.
The original design was circa, like, I mean, it's years and years old, but where's the OG? Where's the OG? Can I find it? Yeah, this is like a side by side. Okay. From the original. Okay. The original. This is the original design of the ring. Specifically the underside is what we're looking at. And then this is the new design. Which do you like more? And why? And you have to pick one. Okay. You can't do like, I like them both equally. We can't do that.
What if I don't like either of them?
Well, she doesn't like either of them. Which do you like more? If you had to pick one, you're the director. To I guess frame it to just know, like, one of the things people love about Halo is this idea of like the mystery, the mystique, the scale, right? Because this is like entire worlds on this thing. Which do you like and why?
So, okay, I never got into Halo, so I actually don't have a lot of bandwidth or knowledge or know-how when it comes to
that's
this.
even better for this experiment.
The second one it reminds me of like an Etsy wedding ring. If I vaguely thought you liked Star Wars and wanted to get you like a nerdy wedding ring.
Okay, so the second one looks like an Etsy wedding ring if you thought somebody vaguely liked Star Wars. Okay, that's, yep. What does the first one make you think of? Yeah, do you want the chair?
This is what a motherboard looks like to me.
It's what a mother. Well, what does it make you? Which of these do you feel is like grander, or which one gives you a sense of scale more?
That one just looks like clouds, and that one has, I guess, land mass. So I guess the first one.
The first one. Okay. What do you think about the undersized, in your words, the Etsy ring?
It looks like
design?
an Etsy engraved ring.
Now that I see it, I can't unsee it. But what does this make you feel when you see like the very detail, like complex, high complexity?
I wouldn't call it high.
There?
It looks very early 2000s.
Yes, which is
it makes sense.
But which would you like? What does this design? Because obviously they could have made this, but just lower texture quality, and I mean they could have done this, but over here. There's been a design shift between the two.
Yeah.
And what do you feel like is the difference in what they were trying to do in the first picture versus the second picture?
The difference of what they were trying to do in the first picture versus what they were doing in the
Yeah, like obviously they've made changes. And some of them are like higher fidelity and they've got more detail in the mesh and in the actual like structure of it. This is basically just like a band. I mean, it's very simple. This has a lot more detail in it. But why did they not just do a more detailed version of this where it has like all these nooks and crannies and stuff?
Well, I mean, it's just a picture. It's just like a picture on a band. It's not, there's no depth to it.
No depth, but also like you see this one has one big circle, a couple of small, big panels. Like the panels are very flat, right? Like, whereas this, it looks almost like the Death Star where every nook and cranny you can imagine, yes, the texture is low, but you can imagine that, you know, these are massive.
You think that looks like the Death Star?
It's you get what I mean? Like
it looks like a computer chip. It literally looks like
yes,
a digital rendering of a computer chip.
Yes.
You're talking Death Star, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Yes.
It's green.
Well, I will say, she said she was bored, and you do this. I'm trying. Look at these two pictures and tell me which one you like more. So
what did you do the other night? Oh, I was brushing my teeth, and he comes up behind me and goes, actually, the new Batman Lego game is really good. Unprompted. Nothing behind it. No conversation. I'm just brushing my teeth.
This was after Lego Batman launched, and I was trying to share part of my day with her, and I was like, new Lego Batman, by the way, is really good. And she was like,
actually, the new Lego Batman's really good.
She's like, that made me feel like you're a 9-year-old sharing what you did at school today. I was like, it is really good though. It's really good. I'll share with you what the details
the nerds
or the nerds have said. So like this is one, Jimmy replied to this. The details are wrong. The old had details, they were very small points of light and panels that really gave it a sense of scale. By making the details so large and generic on the new version, it just throws the scale off.
Is it
very
literally just
odd
the
design.
home screen though? Like, be so real. Is this just the home
Well,
screen?
what we're looking at right now,
Yeah.
it's not out yet. It's
Okay.
not out yet. But what we're looking at right now is the redesign. And this is
Of the home screen.
of the ring,
Oh my god.
of the Halo.
These people are such haters. It's literally a freaking home screen. It's not even, they're like, oh, not real. Not legit. Not my Halo.
Not-
It's a home screen.
Hashtag not my Halo. No, so to be clear, the reason why people like get passionate about this, to give you like broader context,
Passionate over everything.
they do. But the reason why I feel is because the particular, I mean, it's a long history, but there's a feeling that the people in charge of Halo now don't understand or respect the original like design choices and philosophies. And so they are changing stuff that doesn't need to be changed in a way that makes it worse.
2026. If I could have a Shrek 5 in the same style as the original Shrek, I'd be a happy camper. But you know, it's just 2026, you guys. They want to change everything because it's easier and the new programs just, I don't know, like it or hate it.
Nikki wants to roll over. She wants to take it. I will say, I think, having looked at it, I do think, I understand what people are saying. I agree. I like the original designs much more. Like, I think that it captures the sense of scale, which even Nikki, mentioned, whether it be just like the cloud cover or how they've framed the shot. There's a sense of scale in the original that I feel like is kind of lost in the second one. And, it's even with the low poly and low detail, because obviously they couldn't go crazy with texture resolutions and stuff. I still feel like there's a sense of scale in the original that's lost here, because this does immediately give me the vibe of like, I don't know, I genuinely don't know what it is, but it's that Unreal Engine flair that which is why it's so funny that it's in Unreal Engine. So many games in Unreal Engine kind of look like this. Like one of the games that this immediately made me think of was some of the designs of Immortals of Avium. Let me see if I can find some like shots that kind of show some of the buildings. I don't know what it is. Like these big circles and flat pieces of metal. Like, you guys remember this game? It's a very particular type of like, I don't know what you even call it. It's well above my pay grade, but it has a very particular design style, and there's probably a name for it. But so many of these types of games have the same kind of like big flat pieces of metal with rounded edges, and so you get massive scale, and it all just kind of starts to look the same, you know? I don't know what it is. Crap, that's what it's called. Oh, that's what it's called. Oh,
At Own Night donated 20 pounds through
Oh,
Super
Night, thank
Chat.
you. Thank you. I'll read it so Nikki can hear. With the 20. It's the year of our Lord 2026, and the people who are complaining about respecting the legacy are witnessing the studio that did this literally burning, said legacy to the ground. Move on. Yeah, it's I think that's the attitude, is that there is I think a desire for everybody to come in and make something their own and like give it their own flair when they come in and redesign something through a remake. But there's times where like that's not what people are looking for. Like they just want it to feel like the original. They want that
Same first feeling.
Yeah, well, and this is not just like upscaled. It is a literal change. Like it literally changes the design, and that I think you shouldn't be surprised when people see this. This is the original, and then you go with like the Unreal Engine Etsy ring design, which I think is a good description of it. It makes sense to me why they see it and are like,
that for your next birthday.
yeah, I wonder
No,
if
babe, it's totally the Halo ring.
Etsy ring. I wonder if there
I
actually
would say
is a design
nerd
like this.
Etsy ring. That's what I would say. I would say nerdy men's Etsy ring.
Nerdy men's.
I'm not even kidding. That's what I look for whenever I try to find you something on Etsy.
I mean, kinda, sorta. This honestly would have looked cooler, I think. Like,
Do you see the one with the line in the middle?
yeah, that's close.
So that makes me
It
think
needs
of-
like embedded gems or jewels, and then it'll look very similar to it. Kinda like this. The wisdom spirit. It does kind of have that flair. I understand why people are feeling this way, especially when like there are some franchises and there's some things that you just don't mess around with, like, because people care a lot and cherish them a lot. And so when you start to screw around with it and like change the designs in ways that don't even seem that significant or meaningful, it just feels like, why are you messing with it? Like you're just messing with it for the sake of messing with it, and you're messing with it in a way that demonstrates you don't like understand it, and that's what really frustrates people, I think. Melissa, thank you for that. Says, petition for Nikki and Luke to create content together, maybe members only mini co-stream. That could be fun. We could make her play horror games.
Oh, don't do that. That's
We could do that. Or I want to do like community nights where we do games all together. We could have Nikki carry us through Marvel Rivals or something. We could do
I
that.
don't want to drop my rank. I'm gonna be honest.
No, you wouldn't play ranked with us.
Thank God.
No, Nikki, I'll be like, hey, Nikki, you want to play some Marvel Rivals? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, do you want to do ranked? She's like, I'm busy. I'm busy tonight. I was like, yeah, oh, you don't want to play with me. You don't want to carry me. I see. Warframe. It is kind of Warframe. I wonder what that design style or design language is called. But yeah, it is kind of like that. Yeah. Warframe's a good comparison. Wall of the Great, thank you for that one. It looks like a 3D Mark times by benchmark test. Kinda. I actually know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it does. Meta, thank you for the 2. They've been messing around with Halo design since Halo 4. I think there's a desire to put a spin on stuff, and I've seen like the pitch decks for games when they are like bringing it to executives trying to get greenlit for spending. No executive is like really excited by, we're gonna do the same thing we did before, but just a little better. Like no executive is excited by that. They want to give money to a project that's like, we're gonna reinvent this. We're gonna excite people, energy, passion, explosions, Etsy rings. Like that's what excites them.
Etsy rings.
Etsy rings. Yeah, Nikki is ranked on Rivals. Nikki goes hard on Rival. It's like a little.
I have to take breaks.
Yeah, she'll like come down red in the face and just be like, I don't want to talk about it. She goes hard. Let's see. Okay, I read that one. Okay. Anyway.
Good job. You're a good
Anyway,
reader.
I'm a good reader.
You're a really good reader.
Also,
Lego Batman is really good.
Also, Lego Batman's
really cool.
Lego Batman's really good, and also, the ring in Halo doesn't look good enough. I need more complexity. Can you do a Nikki Rivals best clips? Honest question, does Nvidia still do the highlight clipping thing? Highlight clips. Do they still do that? I don't remember if they stopped that. Basically, like you'd be able to just play the game, but then they automatically clip highlights. I think it's specific games that do it. It's been a while. I don't know if they do that in
It'll also
Rivals.
log your games and stuff in Rivals. You can rewatch them.
Yeah, they do. We'd set up in Shadowplay. Okay, so we could do that, and then you can just play the game. It'll automatically clip like kill streaks or whatever else, and then you don't even have to worry about like recording to get your highlights. You can do that. Alt Z on Nvidia card. Yeah, we could set it up. I got all the parts in to rebuild your PC, so we have to do that.
I got a lot of stuff to move over.
Yeah. Well, I backed it up.
I have more now.
Sorry, checking things. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, Wesley. Wesley had a question.
Okay.
What were we talking about? We were talking about some game where a character asked a male character how old they were, and then they said how old they were. And so I think it was Wesley who said, why is it considered inappropriate to ask a woman her age? And I was like, I am not sure. And he was like, well, ask your wife. And then you showed up. I don't know why.
Are they considered inappropriate?
Yeah, because like I feel like I can walk up to any dude and just be like, how old are you? And they'll be like, I'm 32.
I don't think you can do it to any dude. I think it really depends on situation.
I guess I should. Oh, it was the Strauss Zelnick interview. Yeah, because they went up to him and asked him how old he was, and he's like, I'm 68, and I was very proud. I would say I would be hesitant to ask somebody how old they were if I feel like they're on the verge of like midlife crisis. So if I would see somebody that I'm like, oh, they're late 40s, early 50s, I probably don't ask them. But I also, when am I going to ask somebody their age? I'm not in that case. But anyway, why would it maybe be more sensitive?
If you're asking somebody close to adulthood or legal age what their age is, it does kind of come off like you're coming on to them.
Oh, I also
and
feel
you're
like,
trying to make sure that they're legal, or maybe you don't care.
I also feel like
Great.
it's weird if like an older man asks a younger woman.
Or it's like they're trying to, I don't know if it's in all situations, but especially coming from somebody even 5 to 10 years older, if they're asking you how old you are as a young woman, or I don't know, mid-20s to 30s, youngish women, it really reflects poorly because it could be maybe you're not qualified enough. It can be seen as like you're talking down to somebody. Like I was a manager of a fun center because I'm super fun. Managed a fun center, and I had a gentleman come in and ask for an adult. And then ask for a more adult than me. And I was like, I'm the oldest person you're going to get in this building.
Yeah. I think
it's a little fuzzy.
That's probably like the main dynamic is, I think it's different if it's all about dynamics. Like, I feel like.
Generally, you're not asking a 50-year-old-ish woman like how old they are. You have a good idea.
Yeah. Or if it is, it's also just like, I don't know, there might be sensitivity there. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where it's like social situations and social awareness. There's times where it's totally legitimate. Like if you're at a bar and somebody's in their 20s and you're like, can I see your ID? How old are you? That makes sense. But if you're like at the gym and you walk up to a 20-something girl and you're like, how old are you? That's weird.
You're not going up. I feel like the only time I'd ask an older woman how old she is if like we're at the gym and she's freaking shredded. I'd be like, man, how long have you been working out? You look amazing. Like, that's the only time I could genuinely see asking somebody that is perceived older than myself.
Yeah.
What their age is.
I guess for me, I know we brought it up because they did an on the street interview with Strauss Zelnick, who's the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, in charge of GTA and all that. And he's like freaking jacked. And so they asked him off the cuff, like, and they interview business executives, so they're also trying to get a feel for like, how old are you? How long did it take you to be successful? Blah, blah, blah. So now asking him his age is like a natural question in that context, I think. But I feel like just in general, in 95% of social situations,
Not great.
yeah, I don't think you need to know somebody's age. Like, you're fine.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just small talk. How's the weather? How old are you? I guess.
How old?
How old are you?
Okay.
That's, asking how old you are is better than like, are you legal? Don't do that.
Well, imagine asking somebody how old they are and then just immediately ending the conversation and turning around. Like, how old are you?
How old are you? 22? Yeah, see.
It's not good.
It's weird. Luke, how tall are you? I'm like, I will say 6 foot, but let's be real. It's probably more like 5'11". It depends on my shoes.
You've grown since we got married. You're
I
like
have
an inch
actually.
taller.
Yeah. We have like the wedding photos and like we're right there. I'm actually taller than Nikki now.
We used to be the same height.
Yeah.
We were the same height for a long time, and now you're like just barely.
I actually stretched out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You kept growing.
I went through a growth spurt. Yeah.
And Batman is really cool.
Yeah. And Batman really cool. Remember, it's only creepy if it's a guy asking a girl.
No, I think it'd be creepy if I asked like a 17-year-old young man how old
How
he
old are
was.
you?
Yeah. I think that'd be creepy too.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
I don't think it goes one way.
Luke, how old are you? I just turned 29. Just turned.
Just last week?
Yeah, on the 17th, I turned 29. I almost said 21. I was like,
no.
Dude, I had a moment like a month ago where I was like filling out a form and it like asks you how old you are, but not like your birth date. Like it asked me how old I was in years. And I remember I like paused. I was like,
Right.
how old am I? Because
Marry
like,
the two.
yeah, you reach a point where like you stop thinking about it and you're just like, how old am I?
Post-COVID, I feel like I'm 3 years younger than I actually am. When people ask, I'm like, I'm 20. No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Somebody asked me my last birthday how old I was, and I was like, I don't remember.
I think I'm
I don't know.
37. Luke, do you remember 9/11? I actually do. I have one memory of walking, and I would have been 4 at the time, walking into the kitchen and turning to see the TV that was behind the couch. It was like the TV was in the corner of the room, and it was of the towers smoking. And then I remember I don't know if I said, what's that? Or like I inquired, but I remember like my mom ushering us outside to play. And then my dad turned off the TV. Cause like they didn't want to see it, but I do have a very vivid memory of that moment. Yes. It is funny how there's just some things that you like very specifically remember. Yeah.
Yeah, those born in 2000 do have easy birthday math.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
My
easy
brother
birthday
was born in 2000, so you always know. Yeah, you always know.
There's no way to forget.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm 30 since like COVID last time I've checked. I think ballpark. If you can't deal with your own age, you have more problems than someone asking you. That's probably a good way of saying it. Like I think it's the balancing act between like should you care and whether you do care. And for a lot of social situations, it's just like, are you gonna make somebody uncomfortable just for the sake of making somebody uncomfortable? Like, well, you really shouldn't be uncomfortable. It's like, well, they're uncomfortable now. Like now it's weird,
Well,
you know?
when you get to have kids, specifically like when you have young kids, we were younger parents, not the youngest. Say you're like median. But you meet people from all walks of life. Like we were young 20s with little babies and starting to enter doing child things with the kids. And a lot of the other parents, some of them are like 30s, some of them are in their 40s. And so like you just, I don't know, it starts to matter a lot less.
Yeah.
Your kids' friends' parents become your friends.
And I will say, I don't know if it's just like parenting in general or what, but it does feel like you do reach, as you go through different like thresholds in life, the people around you either care more or care less about different things. And so like once you have kids, everybody's just kind of like,
okay,
whatever. Yeah, I'll tell you, do you want my social security number? I don't care. Like they reach a point where they just don't care. But yeah, I think average parent age used to be 30, but now it's low 20s. I'm
like
not sure.
31.
31. Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I think the median age.
In the U.S., I believe, is like up in the 30s now.
Yeah, median age.
Most of our friends didn't start having kids till late 20s, early 30s. We were the first out of our close-knit group to have kids. 27.9. I thought it was closer to 30.
Well, and this is specifically women. Median age for a woman having a child, first child, 27.9. In, let's see, urban and metropolitan areas, it's later. Those in rural areas, it's younger by like 4 years. Washington, D.C. sees some of the highest ages. Mississippi has the lowest in the like mid-20s.
That's so
Interesting. Yeah. There you go.
Bumped up a lot.
It's going up, I think. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's also one of those things, if you're going to have kids, it's also probably important to have like a plan for what you're going to do with your house. Like you need to get a bigger apartment. Like if you can't afford a house, like there's all sorts of other things. Sometimes you'll need you got to budget out and figure out how we're going to pay for the hospital bills, how we're going to pay for the car seats, how we're going to pay for the clothes, how we're going to pay like childcare. Yeah, because childcare will kill you.
Usually one parent's entire income goes towards childcare.
Yeah.
So then you're paying your entire income for someone else to raise your kids, and that's a whole debate.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say my college friend group, we've all kind of entered into parenthood in the same period. Like everybody's just pumping out babies. We're all going to be done pumping out babies right around the same time. And then it's just like, you come in, do what you got to do. You're done. Raise the babies. And then, it'll be raise the babies. Raise the babies. But yeah, there's also other groups that I knew back in like late high school, early college, and they are nowhere close to settling down. And
well, there's a weird thing, like part of our generation too just doesn't feel like adults even until they hit their mid-30s.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel or know if we felt like adults by the time we got married and were having kids. I felt
I think
we were just trying to figure it out.
I think there's a lot of young people. This is Boomer Luke coming out.
Boomer Luke.
There's a lot of people who are around my age who wait until they feel ready to take big steps. I don't know if it's a post-COVID thing. I don't know if it's just being raised in the age of social media.
Failure.
Yeah, there's something, but there's a lot of people my age who are afraid and don't want to do things until they feel ready. But that, and I heard this quote, I don't know where it came from, but I think it's great. And it's basically the idea is you will never feel ready for anything because being ready is not a feeling, it's a choice. It's an action. You choose, I'm ready, let's do it. And once you kind of accept that for most of the biggest stuff in your life, you're not going to feel ready before it happens, that you have to choose to take it on and to be prepared and that you're gonna make it work. Once you realize that and then you can make that choice intentionally, you'll find yourself capable of taking much bigger steps much faster. But I've noticed that there's a lot of people my age that I knew like in high school who are still just kind of, in my opinion, treading water because they keep waiting for this magical moment where they feel ready.
Clicks.
And it's like, it just won't, it just won't. You got to make that choice. It's called life crunch. Hell yeah. Too much financial risk. I can't make any big steps in life. Well, and that's another piece of it too, is that there's also you can't ignore the truth of the dynamic, which is that like things are more expensive than they have been at any point in our lives.
That was our big leap, specifically in our partnership. And we had just had our first kid and I went back to work 5 weeks postpartum and we were really stretched thin and trying to make it work money wise. And we had that conversation where you said, if I can commit the time I would to a full-time job to doing YouTube and doing streams and doing that stuff, I know I can make it work, but I need the time to do it. And that for us was a huge leap.
This was at the time where I was still driving to Denver every morning for real estate.
We were working opposite schedules, so he would work a 10-hour shift. I would go to work a 5 to 8 hour shift, and that's what we would do. And it got to the point where he's like, if you take on kids full time and I'm able to do this.
At that point,
one kid.
Yeah, we didn't even know about the second one. Part 2.
If you take all that on, then I feel like I know I can do this. And so, I mean, we didn't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was periods where, like, for a few months, it's like, oh,
We're gonna find out.
we're gonna try that. But I'm a firm believer that responsibility breeds character. Like, if you take on responsibility, assuming you're not an a-hole, because some people take on responsibility and it exposes them being a horrible person. They adopt a dog they can't take care of, and then the dog gets left in a cardboard box. Like, obviously there's exceptions to it, but I think in general, if you take on responsibility and you're committed to meeting that responsibility, it'll make you a better person, and it'll make you stronger, and you'll be capable of more. But you got to be willing to take that leap. Again, like choosing to be ready and take that leap. But yeah. I am an absolute a-hole, but never a malicious one. Well, that's good. Self-awareness is key. Yeah. You make me feel old AF, and I'm your age. I'm sorry. If I shaved my beard, I'd look 12 again, and then it'd be like, oh,
We're
a child.
There's gonna be a day you do it, and you're like, oh.
I'm gonna do it. I'm like,
Oh.
This is why I don't do
Oh,
this.
no.
Yeah. Oh my god. Responsibility does breed character and mental stamina. Yeah. Well, and it's why I think it's really important to challenge yourself regularly to do things that you are uncomfortable with, that will be good for you, but you got to do it. You just gotta do it. Babyface gang, you're damn right. You're damn right. Luke, you should grow a long beard. I don't think I have the strength for it. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Jacob, I don't know if you guys have seen Jacob recently. Jacob, he had a clean cut like this. He's growing his hair out. It's now like, I don't know, shoulder length, but it's down past his neck, and he looks really good with it. But he's also able to wear like the beanies. He likes wearing the beanies, and so that helps kind of get over that awkward phase when your hair is just shaggy. Because I always wanted to like maybe grow out my hair long. I don't think I could do it, because I don't think I could get past the awkward phase. Same with the beard. Like, for the beard to grow it out long, you got to just let it be long and puby the whole time. And I just don't know if I can do
Puby
it.
is a sentence there. That long and puby.
Long and puby. That's what a lot of beards turn into. That's just how it is.
Ew.
Yeah, the Duck Dynasty beard. Coward. Exactly. I'm not strong enough. I need to choose to be ready for it, to take it on. Yeah. I tried to grow mine out for a year and failed. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is it's the reward. It's the cost reward. Like, you're trying to figure it out. I don't know. Embrace the pubes.
Howard.
Yeah, Nikki, this is
kidding me?
This is God Howard. We praise him. Praise be.
I used to have a picture on your desk.
Yeah.
It's gone, but Todd Howard's here.
I may or may not have spilled root beer. Wallet the Great. Thank you for that. It reminds me of Matthew. I think it's Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. The more you hold off, the longer you do nothing. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. It is very easy. This is one of the stupidest references I could make, but I think about it regularly. The Office, season 3, I think.
Don't be wrong.
There's a part where Pam wants to go to art school. She wants to go to art school, and no, she wants to go to a training program that has an art program as part of like the corporate raising women in the workplace stuff that Jan is doing. And they're sitting in the conference room, and Jan is telling Pam, you need to do this. You need to go train and, further your education in art and blah, 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 blah. And, Pam's going back and forth. I don't know. And Jan just stops her and says, there's always 1,000 reasons not to do something. And she just leaves it there.
All right.
Yeah,
okay,
leaves it there. But I regularly think of that when I'm like, there's this and there's that, and I could, maybe not because of this, and I always catch myself. I'm like, no, there's always 1,000 reasons not to do something, and only a few good reasons to do it. But you gotta focus if you believe in what it is, and if you're motivated to do it, you gotta pursue those.
I'm gonna one-up you.
Yeah.
Season 1, Arrested Development. There's always money in the banana stand.
There is always money.
There's always money.
Tell me, what
in
is
the banana
what
stand.
is the life lesson of that?
There's always money in the banana stand.
Enough said. I would actually, no joke, one day I would like to open a banana stand, and then I will actually keep funds hidden inside of it. But I know it'll be vandalized, but it'd be worth it just for the memes. Shifei, thank you for the 2. They only turn puby if you don't take care of it. Now that is a sentence. They only turn puby if you don't take care of it.
What?
I've been
Luke,
noticing.
this the whole time.
Yeah. I will say, speaking of Job from Arrested Development, I did actually see magic from what was his name? From a guy that worked at the Magic Castle in LA, which is where Job goes. Becoming a member, Magic University. I didn't know they did a Magic University. I don't remember his name. It was in the 007 thing. But I actually saw some like insane magic tricks done by a guy that worked at the Magic Castle. And bro, it was crazy. It was like the most, you just broke my brain stuff ever. It made me kind of frustrated. Yeah, it was like that. Okay, I can usually figure this stuff out, but I'm honestly not sure how you did that. That was crazy. It was really cool.
Sexually and mentally frustrated.
Yeah, there was a lot of feelings. Well, fam, I am going to call it there, for my throat grows tired and sore. Thank you for chilling with me and the missus. As Shifei says, main takeaway from the stream that I hope everybody can process and remember. They only turn puby if you don't take care of it. Let's all just sit and remember that as we go our separate ways. Thank you for chilling with me. Much love. I will be back on Wednesday, I believe, and we will have more to talk about then, okay? Okay? Much love, my friends. Stay safe. Stay positive. Stay take care of it so it doesn't turn puby. And I will see you guys soon, okay? Much love. We'll see you soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye. Mwah.